All right, let's do this one more time. All right. Let's see if this all works correctly. It probably does, though. I think we got this right. It's a little different today because uh, I'm broadcasting also off of Zoom, and I don't know what I'm doing. So we're gonna run it this way and see if this works the best way. Everybody, come on into the chat, YouTube. What up? It's been a while, YouTube, since we've done any sort of broadcasting at all. Um, Actually, yeah, this should work out fine though. This should work out fine. We're gonna wait for all the other. There we go. We got people coming in real quick. Let's see if this works. All right, we got Robert. Guess who's late to the party? What's up? What's up, y'all? Yo, what is going on? There we go. That's better. All right, now next, let's see if he can hear me. No, he can't hear us. Oh, you can hear us. Okay. But I cannot hear you. But it's okay, guys. Late to the party is in the house. They just got a new setup, so they're trying to figure out how everything works, but it's okay. I too.
If we get it. Can you hear me?
We get it. We get it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Now we can hear you. Hey guys, what's up? What's up?
Technology.
There you go. So you can hear me okay and
Yeah.
all that, right? All right, cool. So yeah, I rarely use Zoom. And the only reason I even decided to do this web chat is because I had another job where I needed to pay for Zoom Premium last month, and I forgot to cancel it. So,
Oh no!
so
You gotta
they
use it.
charged me at the beginning of the month. So I'm like, oh, well, what am I gonna do then for the rest of this month? Oh, you know what? Let me have a spoiler chat with some YouTubers. So that's why we're here. So it all worked out. It is inevitable.
It's a fun, reason to come together. It's been quite some time, but
Like the Justice
yeah.
League, yeah. Okay,
I
yeah.
know, right?
Yeah.
Or
So,
the Avengers in this case.
That being said, guys, why don't you even my chat is probably waking up right now. But why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves to the audience now and the replays and all that? Like, what are you guys all about, and why are you late to the party?
So it's not just a clever name. Like back in the day, it was just because we didn't know how to edit anything. I'm Robert. This is Vanessa. We've been doing Late to the Party for like going on 11 years, I think.
Yeah,
it is.
I think
It's
so.
been a
Yeah,
while.
it's been a minute.
And back then we didn't know how to edit. So, we'd hand it off to my buddy who knew, and he did it. And it'd take a while. So we would call ourselves Late to the Party because it's taken forever. But then we realized it's a way of life, honestly. We showed up to the game in what we thought was already late to the game. There had been so many reactors out there, like yourself, I believe, and our friends Greg and John, the Real Rejects, which have grown exponentially since then. And it was just because we would have conversations all the time, and we figured, nobody was saying what we were saying to
Why
each
not
other.
put it on camera?
And we
Right.
did.
And there
And
you go.
as they say, the rest is history, but still ongoing.
History,
Yeah.
yes, as it is. Okay, well, great. Glad to have you here. And ding dong, here comes well, he's not a ding dong. It's just, yeah, the buzzer. Busy Braun in the house. It's been a while too. We haven't seen this man probably just got out of his like 5th showing of Spider-Man Brand New Day. He's probably walking out of the AMC as we speak, it looks like. Yeah. You're muted, by the way. There you go.
Well, yeah, what's up, bro? I mean, it's good to see you, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah. Last time I saw you was it Star Wars?
I think it was Japan, yeah. It was
Okay.
Japan.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
Yeah.
Star Wars. Yeah, that was about a year ago, actually. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm a big fan of what you guys have been doing, for real.
Dizzy, how you doing, man?
Oh, you guys have never.
I'm good.
You guys
Sorry,
have never met.
I kind of got lost track of what was going on, so I'm kind of in the middle of things right now. So I do apologize for being kind of hectic,
Are you robbing someone? Are you planning a heist right now?
I'm waiting for the next victim to come by.
I see that. Spider-Man's
I
gonna
live in
stop you.
Salem. I live in Salem, Massachusetts. So there's a lot of tourists that be walking by. So I'm just like waiting for the right naive person,
Ah,
You
witches.
just gotta curse them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. guess. Okay.
Nah,
All right.
but I
Well,
wanted to
I
stop in
want.
for like 20 minutes and talk to y'all because I mean this movie was fucking fantastic, right?
I see. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I got Ronan as well. He's coming in a little later, but that's fine. So yeah, why don't we actually just get into it right now? Because like so I feel like I'm taking crazy pills or so. I guess I'll reserve my judgment a little bit later because par for the course. I think it's usually the opposite of what everybody thinks or whatever. But how did you guys? Because if I tell you what I think it might start changing the trajectory of like your guys' opinion a
The flow.
bit. So why don't you guys tell me your first impressions? And now that you've had some time to sit with it, let it kind of settle or simmer. What do you guys think about it now? Let's go ahead and start with late to the party, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even get to do a review for this movie.
Oh, really?
That's true.
Yeah, we caught COVID like right when it was time for us to go to the screening, like the press screening. Ronan goes to those press screenings up in the same spot that we go to. And we were sick, so we ended up watching it days late because we didn't have tickets for like the opening night or anything because we were going to the screening ahead of time. And so
Yeah.
we watched it like a few days later. Did not get spoiled once, which
Which
never
is
happens.
nice. I know. Surprising.
Yeah, people love to come out in droves
That's
and tell us everything
crazy,
that
yeah.
happened.
And
But,
how can you be a reactor and like not get spoiled? That's the craziest thing. Like I knew about so it is a spoiler chat, guys, but unfortunately I knew about the Jean Grey situation right after the first trailer came out, and that was really like it was kind of annoying for me, but like it can't be helped. It's the nature of the business. Like
Luckily, we didn't get any
Amazing.
confirmations. We didn't see anything online. Typically,
It was like more just rumored for us.
Right.
Like we figured she was gonna be Jean Grey, but we didn't get confirmation from other people who've seen the movie before we got to see it.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess people just like you. People like you. Like literally days before the screen. No, a day before the movie came out. People in my chat were like, I don't know why Marvel is holding back on Jean Grey. It's like already out. They spoiled it on the red carpet. What do you think, Aka-san? I'm like, let me go see the damn
I
movie
haven't seen
first,
the
you know?
movie.
Right? It's
I mean,
so
it's-
annoying. Yeah, but okay, so you go in, you see the movie, healing from COVID. What did you guys think? It was just good or what?
So my first impression of watching the movie after the fact, I was like, I really liked the vibe that I was getting from the movie because it reminded me of the feeling I had when I was playing the Sony Spider-Man games, and I absolutely love those games. And so to kind of go into this movie, I'm like, it's giving me the same feeling that I had playing the game and watching this. So I'm really enjoying myself, and that's kind of where my stance is of the movie.
Multiple times I would just lean over to Vanessa and I would just go, magnificent, magnificent. And it was just based on the visuals, the move, like when he does the jump back up onto the wall. And it's pretty late in the game when he does that too, like when it's just so prominent. And I just like, magnificent. Like there's so many of those moments throughout the movie.
Absolute cinema. Okay, yes.
Yeah. I think I even did say that at one point because it was very Spidey. But at the same time, man, as I was watching this movie, there were many different moments where I was just like, this kind of feels like college humor videos, like Batman with I forgot what his name, where he does the Batman. But it was just very. It felt
Pete
Pete Holmes, cheesy to me. It felt kind of like soap opera-y at times in terms of just some of the delivery from some of the characters and some of the lines too. Even with Mary Jane when she did the thing where it's just like, wow,
Jones
getting MJ getting all like mad at him when we realized it wasn't her. Like
yeah.
which was really messed up, by the way. What is Jean Grey doing? Like, you just mean doing that stuff to Peter Parker. Like, I felt so bad. I was like, wait,
Throwing motherfuckers
you're-
into oncoming traffic. Yeah, like,
yeah, this is some pretty messed
I
up
feel like
stuff. But then I'm
that's the
like,
Jean,
one
well,
thing.
like-
That's the one
she's the
big problem
Phoenix.
I had.
yeah.
It was like everyone was just like, I can understand the route they were going with her being misunderstood, but there was times where she was straight up throwing motherfuckers into
Yeah.
the streets.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not
Like-
misunderstood. That's just fucked up.
And
you know?
100%, that dude in the helicopter, she made him jump out the window. Like,
Oh my
and
God,
go
yeah.
splat. And right before, he hit the ground, she jumped or pulled back. Plot holes. Anyways. All right. So now that you guys have had some time to simmer with it, how did you feel? Like, how do you feel?
I wanted more in terms of antagonists. Like, yes, she was the antagonist, but damage control from the get has kind of been a thorn in Spidey's side, and just a thorn in the Spidey characters, including like Vulture in the very first in Homecoming. So damage control, like being the bad dudes in this one, but then they just kind of take a back seat in like the very third act. So I was like, oh, I thought we were gonna like move more towards that again, but no, it was just they kind of just brushed it off, and it was all about Jean in a Spider-Man movie. I loved so much about this movie. That's why we're gonna go watch it again in like an hour and a half. Because I do want to watch it again, but at the same time, for like story wise,
Wait, you guys got a
I-
showing in an hour and a half?
yeah, we're gonna go watch
That's
it
so
again in a
fucking
little
cool.
bit.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
That's
cool-
how important it is to show up to an Akasan stream, right? Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah. But
But we,
okay.
there's so much that we loved about it, and I love the mannerisms and maneuvers, the Spidey feel. But it's just overall story wise, it felt kind of weak for me, a little weak
I
for
see.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-surface or surface level stuff. when it
Surface
came to
level,
the
yeah.
villain
One dimensional.
Where's-
Yeah.
But I
Where's
think
J. Jonah Jameson?
a majority of it that I liked it was surrounding Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And Tom Holland playing Peter Parker and Spider-Man and all that stuff too, where it's like, okay, yes, this is kind of the Spider-Man that we want to see. We got to see him as high school, but now this is the Spider-Man that we enjoy and want to see. And so I kind of focused more on that. But like, if you look at the whole story as like a whole thing together, like it was cool that we got to see Jean Grey, but I don't know, like I wish there was more to that, and I wish there was more to Punisher in this as well. He didn't really he was just kind of there.
we got his.
They're
one
like,
shot.
hey, let's bring, that's true, but let's just bring another character just to have another character in the story is kind of what it
But when
felt
he's
like when
wearing
you
the
had
mask,
Punisher.
he's all growling in the window, like pretending to be Spider-Man. Like, it's great. I love Frank. I love
Nice.
John Barenthal. I love John Barenthal and Tom together.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, currently right now in the cinemas, there's literally 2 movies that are showing the same exact cast right now.
Yeah, pretty
Tom
much.
Holland, John Bernthal, Zendaya, they're
Mhm.
all in the same movie right now. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, very interesting. So,
Mhm.
yeah. All right, Busy Braun, tell us what you think, because how many times have you seen the
So-
movie so far?
I'm seeing it for a 4th time on Thursday.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. Well, realistically, I had so much fun with it. Like, I understand there's flaws, but I will say the one thing that really kind of stuck with me is the choreography when it comes to like just the practical effects when it comes to the fighting. It's obviously a plus that they had Jackie Chan's whole like squad involved with this, but you see that like from the jump when it like shows the montage, we get like that little fight scene on the roof, and that whole thing was clearly like there was no need for CGI. Same thing when he's on the roof fighting the SWAT team. You're like, there's no need for CGI. But when it comes to the villain, I do 100% agree with you. I mean, if they did end up doing the switch to damage control being the big bad, if you will, we didn't see them get taken down. I think they made one little reference like, "Oh, he disappeared." And I'm like, "The fuck we doing, bro?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that they're really cool to pop up throughout, various shows in the MCU, but it's like, if you're gonna have a character that's not actually the villain, like you need to have you gotta get your shit together at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? That way it doesn't feel like I'm being blue balled when it comes to a villain.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one thing that they didn't really like kind of like make me feel complete on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I am a fan of the movie. You gotta admit there's flaws because at the end of the day, you can't be like straight up a show. But it's like I did enjoy what they intended to give us. Of course, I didn't feel overwhelmed with the Hulk or Yelena or Frank popping up. You know what I'm saying? It felt good, and I feel like they all had their time to do their thing, and it really felt important to the plot and not like um I didn't feel reliant on it like I did with like Tony Stark in the past or with that legacy there or all of his materials or like Happy being like, hey, like I know you're the man, you're the hero, but let me give you like $10 million to like get a new suit. It was just like it felt entirely up to Peter. And then I know some people are bitching and moaning about the tech and everything involved, but at the end of the day, I mean, we were introduced to him in Civil War, and we saw the tech that he was dumpster diving, grabbing all this tech. Like this
Yeah.
is not new. This is not new to him. But now that he's officially Spider-Man, he's probably being put in positions where he can have access to even crazier tech that was probably stolen. So of course you're gonna take that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even though people were complaining about that shit, my boy Peter's an opportunist. And I respect that. So it was just really cool to see some of the things like that and to see him have his own little lair was kind of fucking hilarious. But all in all, man, I mean, after I see it a fourth, I'm probably seeing it a fifth. I ain't even
Oh
gonna lie to you,
my
accent. I'm not gonna lie to
God.
you, bro.
Wow.
And it sounds like them two are racking up a tally too. How many times have you guys seen it?
Well, because of
Just the
COVID,
once.
that knocked us out like for 2. So
Oh,
far we'd be at 3. Well, we'd be
glad
at 3
y'all
in
are
a little
doing better
bit,
though.
but we're trying to catch up. Yeah. And then we, like Akasan said, we moved. So we're trying to get everything in order here. But
Y'all about to
yeah,
have a full
it's
new setup, huh?
trying to, man. There's
Oh
still things
shit.
I hate. Like we need to fix. But with us, it's always, never good enough. So we're
Well,
constantly
your
trying
videos
to
are
upgrade
bangers, so
and
I'm sure y'all will figure it out. But at the end of the day, I
appreciate
really
it.
enjoyed what I saw, man. Man, I had a lot of fun with it.
It was a
Cool.
good time, that movie. Yeah.
Nice. All right, so yeah, when I watched it, I was just happy. To be honest, I was just happy we got the movie on time, because we're not getting the Odyssey until September, so which is
Okay.
crazy. But that's kind of normal for the Warner Brothers movies. If it's not unless it's Batman, most Warner Brother movies come out late. Like Godzilla, all the legendary Godzilla movies came out like 3 months later, like, which I
Oh,
thought was hella
Really?
funny because it was
Yeah.
it's a Japan's only favorite radioactive lizard, but so it's fine. Even The Dark Knight Rises came out a week later, 2 weeks later. So the Batman came out roughly about the same time. But Disney has always been pretty damn good about releasing the Marvel movies on time. So Spider-Man was no different. And Japan loves Spider-Man. I posted there was lots of imagery. It actually made sense for the movie on top of that. Like there's in Shibuya, which is like the Times Square of Japan or Tokyo, there's a huge billboard of Spider-Man saving a metal what do you call those things that put together buildings? The metal
Scaffolding.
scaffolding, yeah, a piece of that bar. He's like saving us from it, and there's lots of images everywhere that say like we love Spider-Man, and like it was just like the movie or Spider-Man 2 or 3, maybe Spider-Man 2, where they're like we love Spider-Man. So I thought that was really cool. Anyways, going in, the opening scene reminded me so much of Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I was like, right there, I was like, oh my God, the critics were right this time. The fans were right. I think I'm about to be here and witness peak in probably the best Spider-Man movie of all time, right? Then about halfway in, then it kind of derailed and turned into the Jean Grey spin-off show, and I was like, oh, never mind. I had nothing to worry about. I was like, okay, I guess we're just gonna take a back seat here and do a spin-off for the X-Men. I guess it really, I feel like that's where the entire story derailed, and I don't have a problem with Jean Grey, but I do have a problem with them spending so much time making her essentially the new main character, and Spider-Man a supporting role in a Spider-Man movie. So you know, had it been, had it been anybody else in the Spider-Man family, like Black Cat or
Like White Tiger or something like
White
that.
Tiger or just
Yeah.
something Harry Osborn, whatever, then it makes a little bit more sense because it's still contained within that Spider-Man world. The whole idea was about being alone, loneliness and isolation, et cetera, blah blah blah. And at the end of the movie, it's resolved like a CW show with the power of friendship, and it's just like, hey, what else do I have that my sister is dead? Peter Parker looks at her and he's like, you still have me. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So she's gonna be a regular part of the Spider-Man set. No, 5 minutes later, she fucks off to Westchester on a bus, and it's just like, okay, I guess she's not going to be a regular of the Spider-Man family. So why did we just spend like half the movie on her story if she's not actually going to be part? Like even Kitty Pryde would have made some sort of sense. Would have made better sense because Kitty Pryde is somewhat a bit of a regular in the Ultimate Spider-Man.
You would have
comics.
taken like Iceman or something like that too.
Iceman, Firestorm, whatever, like Spider-Man and his amazing friends, right? It would have been fine, but the fact that they blatantly basically showed it like, oh, okay, so Jean Grey's not going to be around after this. And then on top of that, we already talked about this, but Jean Grey was a psycho. Like, she was literally a criminal. She's gonna be the reason the damn people hate mutants from the beginning. She was throwing motherfuckers into traffic, having
And
no
she can't even
ill
blame
will.
the Phoenix Force here,
Yeah.
bro. She was just doing it off of the love of the game, bro.
Yeah,
Like, that was
exactly.
literally
Yeah,
it.
she can't even blame the Phoenix Force. She was literally just for the love of the game, for like, oh, I'm trying to find my sister, so let me throw this old man into the street, and oh, Spider-Man doesn't even try to help. Like,
I know.
there were so many points where I'm like, it was so many head scratches that I was having with this. Like, look, if they wanted to make Jean Grey evil, if they wanted to make her a villain, then there you go, they succeeded. But the fact that they tried to wrap it up CW-ish with just the power of love and the power of talking somebody down, and that was about it, I was like, all right, there could have been a lot of other ways to do it.
I'm not gonna hold you to it. I love what they did with Ant-Man. I thought that shit was beautiful.
With,
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
with who? Ant-Man?
Aunt May and
Oh.
the
I heard
and when
Ant-Man.
Sadie Singh, they had that conversation. It did
Yeah,
sound like I said
and
Ant-Man,
that's
by the
fine.
way.
That's fine too. But hey, listen, if they wanted some sort of villain or psychic to do all that kind of magic, telepathy type of shit, hey, guess what? You probably could have used Wanda. Like I know she's dead right now, but like if they really wanted to keep it within the MCU and all that, it's like, all right, use Wanda, no more memories or something like that. She could have easily reversed Strange's spell or modified it or whatever. Do I think the spell should have been reversed or modified? No. I think they made their bed from Far From Home, and they exceeded with it with No Way Home, and they should have stuck with it. That is my biggest grievance of the entire movie, was like, for all that they had, as good as it was, as well as it was shot, I feel like they essentially backtracked and they decided that they didn't want to actually deal with the fallout of No Way Home. And much like the comic book counterparts, One More Day, the story where it actually went down, where everybody forgot who well, pretty much everybody forgot that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Mary Jane and Peter Parker are not married anymore. As much as it pains most Spider-Man fans to have that story, that it still exists, Marvel stuck with it for 15 to 20 years. To this day, Mary Jane and Peter Parker are still not together, and now Mary Jane is like Venom. And she was fucking around with some dude named Paul for like 10.
Yeah, motherfuckers hate Paul.
Yeah,
People were waiting for the
all
name
my
drop in
homies
this
hate
movie.
Paul. Yeah, but Paul was in this movie, so it
Hey,
seems like
that's my name, so I'm not gonna put too much dirt on it. But for real,
so it seems like it seems like they had the idea of dealing with it, but they decided to just skip all the they decided to skip all of it with a time jump to allow the viewers to kind of fill in the blank, and then we are kind of robbed of a lot of moments. Peter literally dealing with his trauma of being isolated and alone. 4-year jump, right? Punisher and Spider-Man meeting for the first time jump. We don't get to see that. D Wolf, like, it's okay that he has his own Commissioner Gordon or whatever, but it would have kind of been nice to have seen like how he rebuilt all the criticism. What happened to Jane Jonah Jameson and the Daily Planet? Like, he was a huge advocate for hating on Spider-Man. What made it happen? What made in those 4 years, what happened that now all of New York loves Spider-Man once again like that? Because they were hating him big time. Even when they didn't know who he is, they were hating him at that moment in time. There
Was
are a
it
lot.
lost? Was it 4 years?
Yeah, because
I know it said that she died in 2024. So does that mean this takes place in 28?
it's 2028. They time
Oh shit.
jumped
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So, and it's most evident about this is because of the fact that Ned and MJ went through MIT, or yeah, they passed and they graduated, and I'm in the theaters. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, so we missed?
Yeah.
Wait, we missed the entire college legacy
Yeah.
of Peter Parker, the college
Yeah.
days? Because for me, that's honestly the time that I enjoyed the most, and that's where I was introduced to Spider-Man, when he was in college, and Peter Parker, and he was struggling with all that stuff. Like, the tech situation annoys me a little bit, but because everything's brand new and all that. Now, yes, he could be dumpster diving and all that. Then, that being the case, it probably should have been a little bit more retro or dusty or barely working. Like, he literally had Jarvis or Ava right there. EV, I did think that was kind of funny, but kind of dumb at the same time. He was calling his AI EV, which stands for Eve, Adam and Eve, because they're like the last man and woman on Earth situation. So it was supposed to be another reflection of his loneliness, but again, that also bothers me because of that time jump. It's like, wait, so 4 years have gone past, and essentially Spider-Man pulled what the rest of the Earth was pulling with what Steve Rogers was doing and Black Widow was doing during the decimation and the snap, not moving on. So you're telling me that with all his virtue, all Peter did was hyper focus on being Spider-Man, exceeding at being Spider-Man, but failing as Peter Parker. I feel like there could have been that would have been a better story to tell than what we saw, instead of just skipping all of it. And then it's like, okay, well, yeah, well, essentially, MJ and Ned are coming back now because we know how much you guys really want to see them on screen. Like, I feel like they were really afraid to get away from that point. Like, listen, Peter Parker is not incapable of making friends. He could make friends, and I feel like that could have been a whole thing, but that kind of felt a little annoying, especially considering the fact that Peter already lost 4 or 5 years of his time on Earth due to the snap. So they hit you up with a double whammy there, where it's kind of just like, all right, well, Peter's going to lose a good amount of it. So he's essentially, with the snap and the time jump, we've lost almost 10 years of Peter's life, in terms of content or story, to say the least. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff that they kind of missed the mark. I don't think Tom Holland looks like a convincing adult at this moment in time, for him to be out of college, or to be in his 20s, or early. I know his age and whatever, but I feel like there was so much content they could have focused on around that time, that it was a big disservice to the fans and to everybody, that they did that time jump and we missed out on so much content that we could have benefited from. Like it's funny, there's a long gag about what happened on Staten Island with the Punisher, but it's like, well, like Spider-Man and the Punisher are very different people with two different sets of morality, and a conscience and such. Would have been nice to actually see that play out instead of them come to some kind of common understanding, and such. Or did I miss something in One Last Kill? The movie had me really wondering if I should have, like, are there some Disney Plus shows that I missed or something? And I don't think that's a really good way of storytelling if I have to ask myself if I missed something. I didn't see One Last Kill yet, so I was wondering, like, why is everybody kind of cool with the Punisher now? Last time I checked, people wanted his ass dead, and like he was America's most wanted right now.
I
So,
did think it was weird that no one knew who he was. Like
right,
MJ was like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "The fuck you mean? Who is that?
right,
That's Frank fucking Castle, bro. What are we doing?" But like, I will say before I go, the one thing that I will agree on you with is the fact that Jean Grey being the focus of it, it was like it felt weird because it's like I love going into these Spider-Man movies and watching them like kind of like as a standalone type thing. I like that there's connections. Don't get me wrong, but it just felt like they were building into like what's to come, like the future or something, which is understandable to a degree. But when it's not focusing on the character that's highlighting the film, and they're just like, oh shit, like just a heads up, this is what we're building to. It just felt a little weird, like obviously it didn't feel like it was Jean Grey's movie, but it felt like they were pushing that like heavily, which is again understandable. But when it comes to a character like Spider-Man, like that shouldn't be something to rely on or like a crutch, as an example. Like I would have been seeing it 4 times if the main bad guy was fucking the Rhino. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, at the end of the day, like give me Morbius. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Spider-Man. I'm watching it. But
exactly.
It
no,
did.
I'm kidding. That was way too on the nose. Not
I have
Morbius.
a
But yeah.
I have a counter to that though too,
Sure.
when it comes to like bringing characters from other parts of the universe and whatnot. And I feel like that they've done that in the comics as well. Like they introduce a character in one character's comic run or whatever, and then they have their own, or they go off and they do something else. So it does happen in the comics as well. So I think that's why I was like, okay, that's cool that we're going to get Jean Grey right here, because then it's kind of like, for those who don't know who Jean Grey was or is, they'll be like, oh, she's the one that was in the past one. So it's kind of like leaving little like breadcrumbs for people who haven't read the comics or have never seen an X-Men movie, but really enjoy Spider-Man and stuff like that. So it allows them to kind of see those characters in that light too.
Counter to that
Wonderful.
counter though, if it is, let's say that story was a like thing, you know what that's called? It's called a crossover, not a guest star. So if Jean Grey, let's just say Brand New Day was a comic book, then this would have been something like, okay, Brand New Day featuring Jean Grey from Young X-Men or whatever, and then that spins off into a comic like literally the next week or the next month or something like that, not something like 2 or 3 years down the line, and it wouldn't interfere with the major crossover, which is going to be Doomsday and Secret Wars, because we're not getting an X-Men movie anytime before that. So I get where you're coming from, but I also feel like, all right, well, usually the follow-up is a lot quicker after that.
Right. And there's that issue too, where it's like, yeah, you're having this character be here, and then now we're probably going to have to wait a while to possibly see her again if she's not going to be in Doomsday or Secret Wars, and then going into X-Men. So there's definitely that issue there for sure.
I
Yeah.
think
And
that
I think
I think that essentially including Jean Grey obviously was a move by them to kind of orient us into the X-Men mutant side of things. And she is such a primary and, cosmic, like a cosmic type being that can, destroy worlds essentially if she wanted to. Being that she's so powerful, we've already seen that play out by multiple characters already
Sure,
in movies
yeah.
when it came to Dark Phoenix, and then it was Last Stand, X-Men 3. And what they needed to do was completely reinvent that character and give it to us in a way that isn't just like right out of the gate. You're like, oh, Jean Grey, the girl from X-Men. So they had to really kind of strip that away to give us this. So to give it to us in a movie, their only opportunity really came down to Fantastic Four or Spider-Man. And Spider-Man just made the most sense because Fantastic Four was a little whimsically futuristic, but if you were going to incorporate that X-Men from that type of whimsically futuristic, then it does work. But it's also the retro type feel mixed in with the futuristic. But
and again,
as a Spider-Man movie, it does not fit. Like, it does not make sense to focus heavily on Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie. That's why it's like if you'd had Damage Control is an extension of Tony after Tony passed away because he created Damage Control. So it would have tied directly in with where we've kind of been in the story, had Damage Control done more. And I think it would have overarched over Jean Grey.
I mean, they did have sort of Damage Control a little bit when it came to Miss Marvel too.
100%.
Oh yeah.
And you talked about Wanda,
and that was like a little instance too, where they were like hinting at mutants in there as well. So that kind of has like a string, like, okay, we remember, like for those who do remember that or saw it, I get that. And then bring it here. So it's for those people where they're like, oh yeah, Damage Control is kind of having something to do with mutants. But it also sucks because, you know, people who didn't go see or watch that show won't know the connection there.
They don't know that connection.
I mean, to be fair,
I watched that show and I still did until you mentioned it. I completely forgot about that. I was like, wow.
They were mentioned in every Spider-Man movie, I'm pretty sure, though, right? Haven't they been involved with every?
The only one
Yeah.
I could see them maybe not is Far From Home, just because that focus heavy on
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say this is me kind of like nitpicking. So again, I'm seeing the movie another 5, 4, whatever times. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, it's just like that was just one thing that I noticed with because it's like Jean Grey, if she's in any movie, like I'm gonna be locked in. You know what I'm saying? It's just cool that they're introducing her finally. But it felt weird with it being in the Spider-Man film, and I understand with the whole, like, you know, a lot of comic characters, you know, crossover and stuff, and it makes sense. But it's like, to me, it felt less like a crossover and an introduction and more like a like a big ad, you know, like, hey, like Sony, you get to do this, but like make sure you let them know who the fuck this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I know who that is, and a proper introduction is what we got. And so again, at the end of the day, I am happy with what we got. It's gonna be really interesting. They pulled it off, so again, I'll give them all the fucking flowers. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm still like, what if we had more time with this character? And again, Frank being a big character was already so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have loved more time. But but
if Jean Grey became essential to the Spider-Man universe, then I will, I would say nothing. Like, again, Kitty Pryde, I felt could have done the same situation. You know, if they went to school together, whatever. If they went to college together, that would have been better. But the fact that she kind of just got shoot in there, and again, there's like, look, the whole reason we saved the day is because I'm going to be your friend from here on out. You still have me. Cut 5 minutes later, she's on a bus and we'll never see her again in the movie. It's like, wait, what? What happened? Like, I damn near thought we were going to see a wheelchair roll up at the end of the movie or in the end credits. And he's like, Jean Grey, I've been looking for you.
I mean, it did look like she was going upstate, so.
Honestly, it's one of those things where they threw the blade thing at us and they didn't show his face. You know what I'm saying? It's like they could have done that with Professor X. Just have like a wheelchair pull up and don't have any actor to whatever. It's just a matter of like, oh shit, they did it finally, you know?
So what if it's not because Sadie Sink is going to be a big part of the Spider-Man universe? What if Spider-Man's going to be a critical part of the X-Men storytelling? So we know they're starting to get into the X-Men stuff right now. You're going to get, obviously, this is the Jean Grey that's going to kick off whatever X-Men universe we're going to end up being part of MCU Prime, and going a different way with, Jean Grey through Spider-Man. What if it's because this cosmic being is starting to collect those main characters through her arc, which gets us to even post Secret Wars, with whatever they're going to do with the universe of the X-Men. And Spidey could play a big part of that because they have the connection that they just made with this movie. So she's coming in and moving on, but he's going to come with her when they need Spider-Man, because he has been a big part of the X-Men story as well. So maybe that's where they're kind of like, oh, the thread has been laid, but they don't
Sure.
have to think that far,
Doubtful,
so,
but here's to hoping.
yeah.
Like, listen, I try not to get too involved in like speculation, because for me, the perfect follow up to Brand New Day, the perfect follow up to No Way Home would have been Peter dealing with his college years, and then Timothy Chalamet playing Harry Osborn. So and Timothy and Zendaya making out in front of Tom Holland, and there's that added sort of thing, because it's kind of meta. It's a little meta on the nose there, and like that would have been the story right there. But the time jump really annoyed me a lot, because I feel like we lost so much. Here's Ronan. Ronan is coming on in. What up, Ronan? Speaking of, I thought he had his Dune background. Yeah, Busy's trying to jump somebody real quick, so that's why he keeps looking around.
What's up, y'all?
What up, man? Yo.
What up, Ronan?
All right. So Ronan,
What's up, y'all?
what was your thoughts coming out of the movie, and then afterwards, now that you had time for it to simmer, because you're a big comic fan, pop culture fan, so I have a feeling that your thoughts align closer to mine than the rest of these. No.
If
Go
you
ahead.
think that about Ronan, you are very wrong. But I do want to head out, Ronan. I'm going to listen to you
All right,
while
right.
I'm going to sleep, because your voice is fantastic. Late to the party, you guys know. I just want to let you guys know, big fan. Love what you guys are doing. Akasan, you know how I feel about you, bro. But
I know.
y'all are fantastic. Have a good one, all right? It was really good to be a part of
Good
this.
night.
Take care,
Yeah.
Busy.
Later, bro.
But yeah, after once the movie ended, I was like, thank God it wasn't another end of the world or end of the universe thing. I was like, thank God there's no MacGuffin and none of this stuff that we're used to. I'm like, all right, we're just saving. It was more saving it himself than anything else, and it just happens that the community around him. And I was very pleased that it was a way more centered story about, taking a day off and like just looking at yourself and be like, yo, get it together. And then you can go back to doing what you love.
Taking 4 years off, yeah, but yeah, okay.
Well, take a day out of those 4 years of not snooping
yeah.
around your old friends' lives and whatnot. And I really appreciated that, like, you feel New York in this one, especially when the credits were hitting. And I was like, oh, here comes the 3D designs. It's like, no, it's just a boardwalk. It's the crossroads. It's Brooklyn Bridge or whatever. And I was like, damn. I was like, all right.
Ironically filmed in London, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, which is like, yeah, that's interesting. Like, that was a one day of like, hey, just go to New York and just, take some photos or video. But yeah, I love what they did with the film. I don't, oh my gosh, I think it's the greatest thing ever. I do think it's probably my favorite or second favorite of the Tom Holland movies. But also I'm someone who also, like, Homecoming up until this point was my favorite one, just because it's more centered. It's not a lot of the end of the world stuff. And No Way Home is, a hell of an experience that I'll never forget. But, I just liked, little Spider-Man helping out Queens and doing his thing or not, instead of just bumping with everything that's going to be ending, not just his life, but everybody else's life. So I like the simplicity of that in this film.
So you brought up a point. I didn't realize that it was filmed in London.
Yeah.
Dude, that adds such a aspect for me now for the aesthetic in this movie. And it isn't all the time. It's when they're walking through, the streets in front of the market and the apartments and stuff, when it looks like you're in the town, the city. And
it's crazy, right? Yeah. Yeah.
It has such like an old school feel to it that it looks too good to where I was like, oh, this doesn't look like New York. This looks like
I'm sure
Tracy, New York.
well, in the movie you can kind of see where they sort of cheat. They and same as Daredevil and things like that. They do a lot of the principal photography in New
Mhm.
York. You know,
Right.
just a lot of the B-roll type of stuff,
Yeah.
and things like that. But then the actual shooting is done in London, very similar to the Batman. Because the
Yeah.
Batman was filmed in Scotland, I believe.
Yes,
A
I
good
think
amount of
so.
Scotland and things like that. But you know, good looks close enough to Gotham, so you know why bother. But yeah, Tom Holland recently came out and was like, "Yeah, we filmed it in London because there's places you can rent the whole thing for like a day. Whereas if you try to film it in New York, people keep on walking in and wanting to get a photo with you like that, which we just saw that with Seth Rogen and some Twitch
Yeah.
streamers
Right.
got in the middle of a filming of a movie and there were Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen. So you know that's very true. So but yeah, it was. I thought, you know, one of the things I did like about the movie was the fact that there were just some unexplicably New York moments, like unapologetically New York moments where Spider-Man jumps on the car while and that dude's like, "Yo, I got you, Spider-Man," and floors it toward the toward an armored tank, and I'm like, "Yo, what?" And then later the other guy, the security guy, was like, "I swear I would never hurt you, Spider-Man. I love you,
I
Spider-Man."
love you, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I believe you. I believe you. Yeah.
I
yeah,
do.
yeah.
I spit my drink out. That was so funny because like that's literally like a grown ass man saying I love you, Spider-Man. Like that stuff would only happen in New York, basically. So no, so you know the movie itself had some really good points that I enjoyed. I just think the overall narrative of the story had way too many plot holes to ignore as a comic book fan. So that's about it. So for me, you know, like and on top of that, them once again stealing from Miles Morales's stories and the taken from the Spider-Verse, you know, the whole thing with Tom Holland Spider-Man with a Brooklyn accent. I was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna take yet another thing from Miles Morales. You know, Ned Leeds is a 100% carbon copy of Gendry from Miles
Mm.
Morales's original story. Plays with Legos, heavyset, etc. But because the Ned Leeds in Peter's world was just like a reporter who later becomes the Hobgoblin. So there's just sometimes those things kind of irk me because I'm like, yo, by the time Miles does come to MCU, is he gonna have anything left at this point? You know?
I mean,
Yeah.
See that?
do you think that tag was Miles? The tag of whatever's coming from out there, like the other Spider-Man? What do you
Oh,
think that could be?
I don't
Okay.
know. I'm thinking
Anything.
Secret Wars. That's where my mind is at.
facts. Also, that kind of annoyed me too. That they
It's very low
it's just
effort.
little. It's like, okay, look, yeah, okay, I get it. You like the Insomniac games, but I'm like, I don't think you know how the Spidey tracker works. Like, it's not like unless like. You know, the whole thing with the Spidey tracker is that people are actually just reporting in like
Right.
that, right?
Mhm.
So unless Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, or Miles Morales or
Ah.
whatever is reporting themselves. But all that being said, listen, if Stark Tech was not powerful enough, if Stark Tech satellites were not popular enough or were not strong enough to work on Titan, and you know the moment they I'm going all the way back to Infinity War, the moment they get off planet, everything's disconnected. So if you're telling me they're on Battle World or whatever, and Ned's rinky dinky application is going to be able to track somebody, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that, but yeah, it's little things like that kind of annoy me a little bit. So you know, whatever. Throwaway vibe.
Throw
you know?
away.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
much
I
a
understand how
throwaway.
you could have some issues with this stuff. Like again, there's some stuff like hot take. I love Mondo, but like the Scorpion element, I was like, he was just a puppet. He was just used as a puppet that like it wasn't
Yeah,
even
he's kind of a
himself.
puppet though, like in the games too. Like he's just kind of there, you know,
Sure,
a
but I think
henchman
that's
to the bigger story.
but there is an opportunity of making himself an individual like Vulture. If you could do that with a Vulture, there's no, I think excuse that they should do of like doing that with
It is Michael
Scorpion.
Mondo, man, and he's incredible.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they really do have the potential there to make him like somebody like when you see him go up against Spider-Man, it's like fuck, dude, like this dude could walk away winner.
Mhm.
But instead they always tend to like, oh, this is the joke one, kind of like Rhino is that, oh, we're stopping you again. It's like,
Right.
oh, like you could make them like what they did with Vulture was incredible. Again, that's also what I think kind of hurts this movie is you had Vulture dominating in that first movie. The whole connection with Liz was like incredible. It made it even more like suspenseful. And then you had the best, Mysterio, even though Mysterio wasn't in any of the movies unless you do that whole Bruce Campbell deep dive. But you've got Mysterio like showing up and being my favorite iteration of Mysterio. So cleverly used. If you're gonna use Stark Tech, this is a hell of a way to do it. Augmented reality. Everybody
Get
wanted
this
to use
stupid
it.
stuff off me.
And the third one, dude, coming in with giving us that quintessential Green Goblin. Willem getting to be Willem as a goblin, throwing that hood up when he's on the glider and stuff. Like the best, really was the best
Really?
from 1, 2, and 3 villains. So incredible. That fight with Peter when he first throws down and they're going through the floors. So good. It is one of the best iterations of the Goblin, the Green Goblin. And then you go to this one, it's like nothing. So we were on a trend, and this one is really, there is no over the top key villain. Yeah, she did some messed up stuff, but there's no one we're trying to absolutely stop. So she stopped herself thanks to a memory.
Yeah, damage control ends up being the big antagonistic side of it, which is like that's 75% of it. They're allies, and you just casually go with like, oh, they're using the hand, and the hand are cool. It's like, okay. I'm like, I'm just waiting for this to flip around because the hand is never just an ally like this. And so, yeah, I get that notion that like the antagonistic side felt like a big flip towards the end, but I think they're hoping that this plays better in the longer sense. But again, all of us now, we just wish that just make it a story that can stand now. And then if you look at it in hindsight, it'll be beneficial to your universe or character you want to play out at the end. Like again, because there's spoilers and I've been cagey about it here and there. The notion of Jean here is like, all right, if this is the most you're gonna use her as like dark side and like bad, fine. But you better damn sure hold that Phoenix card for the longest of time. I don't want to feel it, hear it, or sense it when we get to the X-Men until like a phase or two afterwards. And I think I've told you others that like the Phoenix thing, that's a whole saga, much like Thanos, much like the multiverse. That's a whole saga. So don't be immediately rushing to that. But if this is the most we're gonna see of her as a villain or any darkness of the character, that's fine. But like, who knows at this point with how they're gonna go for the X-Men and that side of it in the Marvel universe.
What if she runs into James Marsden? How's that going to go down? Or even Logan, like.
Oh,
that'd be
Jesus.
crazy.
Where's Pumpkin Johnson?
Pumpkin,
I
yeah,
mean,
she's
whoever's
doing
gonna
her
play the
own
new
part.
Scott Summers is gonna be a lucky man because they also announced who they cast for
Jeremy Allen White.
I was gonna
for,
say if they really wanted to bring, because Sadie Sink is in a Taylor Swift All Too Well music video that she did, like a
Oh,
short
really?
video. And it could be Dylan O'Brien because he's in that one.
Dylan
There you go.
O'Brien.
that might
He's a
work.
popular
Yeah,
kid.
Yeah.
Is he a heartthrob?
sure. Why
Is he
not?
cool wearing glasses for however many movies he has to create?
Yeah.
Why
Hella
not?
good in specs,
Yeah.
man.
But in terms going back to the Scorpion thing though, so one of the things though, I think one of the reasons why it's hard to use Scorpion in this particular sense is because of the fact you mentioned the Vulture, Mysterio, and then Green Goblin. All of them have personal attachments to Peter Parker. And that's kind of the reasons, that's what makes them, those villains, so interesting and intriguing, because they don't just threaten Spider-Man's life. They threaten Peter Parker's life as well, his personal life, like that. And I think that's one of the reasons why with Scorpion he works better because of the fact that he's just a Spider-Man villain, and that's it. Like, in order to give him more time, more due process, he would have to be involved in Peter's personal life a lot more. And that's probably not something that most people really want to see too much right now. You know, even when you think about all the big bads of Spider-Man, Venom, all of them are just because I could even argue that, okay, Venom, no, it affects both Peter and Spider-Man, but Carnage doesn't. One of the reasons why Carnage is kind of more utilized more as a Venom villain, or just Spider-Man. Spider-Man has to go and try to contain sometimes, but it's pretty, I wouldn't say one-dimensional, but it doesn't go any further than that right now. So I think that's one of the reasons that works the way it does. Dr. Octopus, same thing. Was part of Peter's life, was part of Spider-Man's life. So I think that's kind of the DNA of what makes the Spider-Man villains, what makes one of the A ranking or SS ranking versus the more C ranking. And it's okay because you can have a lot of C ranking Spider-Man villains. That's why they showed them all in 30 seconds of like, hey, here's what happened in 4 years, in case you were wondering. Oh, there's the hand. Yeah. By the way, that dude's Japanese was terrible. In Damage Control. Like,
how would you know?
Oh, well, you know, they're like, when
an expert or something?
when he bowed and he said whatever he said, everybody in the theater was like, wait, what did he say? like it was like some kind of thing. He kind of grumbled it. It was so weird, but like even the hand were looking at each other just like, I don't know, let's just walk away like that. So I will say though, for an audience, to me, my X-Men, exactly, Tyler, for an audience that is very quiet during the screenings. Japanese people, we don't make any noise at all. We're completely silent. We don't applaud or anything. Every once in a while, there'll be a chuckle or something if the subtitles come out right. Like, for example, when Thanos is holding Gamora in Infinity War, and Peter's got the gun on him or something, and he makes a joke about how Thanos has a purple ball sack or something like that. That's the only time I've ever heard some people in the audience laugh. Like, that was it. It was just like, and I was like, huh. But the timing was a little weird. Anyways, the point I'm saying is when the Mary Jane thing comes up, and they're holding and kissing, and DC Sun is so happy, whatever, and then she's just like, go ahead, Peter, hold her, Peter. And then the guy next to me, the Japanese guy, was like, Saite, which basically is just like, that's the fucking worst. Oh, he's like, are you fucking, he's like, are you fucking kidding me? How horrible. He's like, Majide. He's like, seriously? Saite. And I'm like, oh shit. It really pissed him off. It really pissed him off. Like, and it pissed off me and DC Sun. The whole audience was just like, oh damn. Yeah. Like that.
That was the best fucked up moment.
Yeah. It was so good. It reminds me of it's like for example, No Way Home, when Andrew Garfield comes out of that portal, takes off his hood. My wife was just like, eh? Like, and somebody else in the audience was like, eh? Majide? Like, seriously? Like, because they didn't know who he was, unlike us. They didn't know who he was, but they knew he wasn't Tom Holland. So that was it. Okay. That was it. Yeah. So they were just like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, so the reaction for them was very different compared to us. And then but interesting enough, when Toby came out, I heard some people, like some women in the crowd, were like, so Like they were kind of
Movie.
shocked. They had no idea. Like I don't know how Japan is able to avoid spoilers like that, but yeah, that was the
Yeah.
Japanese reaction from everything when it happened. So yeah.
Okay.
And then with Infinity War, I saw that with like 60% foreigners midnight showing in Roppongi, and yeah, when I think who's the first to go before Spider-Man? I think it was was it Doctor
Star-Lord?
Strange? Who dusted
No,
before
'cause
Spider-Man?
it's
Ah,
I think
Drax.
Mantis and Drax.
Yeah.
I think it was Drax. I
It
think it was
yeah.
part of the
Drax.
Guardians. Yeah.
He was like, Quill, like that, right? I think so, right? I
Yeah.
think it was Drax, right?
the first one. I think was
Hakusan, you
Drax. Yeah.
still have the funniest dusting, bro. I'm still thinking about your dusting during the Real Rejects.
Oh, me?
It's like,
Oh,
where he's
that
like,
you're like,
you're like,
Yeah, I
looking back
survived
and you're
the
the
snap.
only one that didn't dust, and the rest of us.
I
are all
survived the
dusting.
snap. Yeah.
Bro,
I don't even
that's
remember
the
who
funniest.
was that. I don't even remember who I filmed that for. Was that for the Real Rejects?
It was
I
the
think it was.
Rejects,
Yeah.
it was Greg and
Yeah,
John.
I just
Yeah.
remember like Greg asked me to film that, and then I did a few takes or something like that, and like he just decided to keep the one like where I did that little Twitch thing, and
Yeah, it was so
I thought
funny.
that was great. That was great.
When
But
John is dusting on the floor and he's like, finally. He wants John dead. He's like, finally.
finally, yeah. So I remember though somebody cried out. I forgot who it was. I think it was Drax though. I think it was Drax who got dusted or something like that. Or something, and then it was just like Mr. Stark, and then once that sound, somebody in the theater screamed. They're like, "Oh God, no!"
oh no.
It was a
The
woman
heartbreak.
too. She was like, "Oh God, no!
Yeah.
Oh God!" And then
Mhm.
once they showed Peter, the whole theater was just like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
That was great.
Like losing
That
a
was great,
kid.
man. That was great. That was a good moment right there. So yeah.
Yeah, some people were crying because of Groot when Groot.
Oh, that
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like no.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah,
What's
like,
weird is that
like-
like I had seen some of the footage like what was it, a year, almost a year beforehand at Comic-Con, because they showed the trailer, and there's this one shot of like you hear Peter saying, "Tony, I'm sorry," and he cuts to his face saying, "I'm sorry," and I'm like, and we're all like, "What the hell does that mean?" And so for like 8-10 months, we have to be like, "What does that mean?"
Speculate,
And we're like, "No,
right?
those were the shots. Yeah, those were the shots of his death.
Yeah, those
Or
are.
dusting,
I
I
mean,
think.
still to this day, it's very impactful. And you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
in terms of ranking of the Spider-Man, so even last night, I was talking to my 14-year-old student, female student. She was asking me about the movies, and she was like, "Did I like it?" And I'm like, "Well, how much time do you have?" Right? But I gave her the brief version of it, and she's like, "Oh, I kind of want to watch it," and I'm like, well, like you can't really technically start with Brand New Day because it's not
Right.
really a brand new day. Yeah. And I had to give her the entire list of okay, well, first you need to watch this, then you need to watch this, and then to see her face just like, wait, three movies. I'm like, well, if you want the core Spidey points, you're gonna have to watch these 4 movies. But if you want to
Yeah.
extend it to make Far From Home happen, you're gonna need to watch Infinity War, then Endgame,
Another
like that.
movie?
And she's just like,
push
and
on
I'm
the
like,
glasses.
I was just like, well, if you can, maybe you can just watch some of it on YouTube. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like that, like that.
A
That's
recap.
that's the easier
Yeah, from
journey.
the new rock stars or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
New
right.
Rockstars, yeah.
Late to the party. I know indeed that you guys have your second showing to go to today.
Yes.
Do. Yeah, with her
It's
mom and her sister, their first time.
Yeah, their
so.
first time. So we're gonna see how they like it or not like it. So I'm curious to see what their reactions are to
They're
it.
big fans of the others, or at least
Oh,
Tobey
really?
and Andrew Garfield and stuff.
Well, my sister said that she like was huge fans of the Tobey Maguire one, and then she rewatched those, and like she said that he annoyed her
because he's a bitch.
because he's like
He's a
not.
bitch.
She was like, this isn't Peter Parker. This isn't Spider Man. So yeah, now I'm kind of curious to see how she'll like this one, but we'll see.
Yeah. You know, and I'm gonna stand on that heel though. It's like the most un-Peter Parker thing for Tom Holland's Peter Parker to have done was just fuck off and be lonely for 4 years. I was like, okay, okay,
Bro, you
whatever.
haven't been there crying your heart out to secondhand serenade
4
because you don't have a
months.
girl anymore.
No Gwen
sometime,
Stacy.
man,
Maybe
depending on the-
4 months.
Dude, it was MJ, bro. It was
Bro,
MJ.
maybe
What'd you do
4
with
months
MJ?
at best. But this dude had time. He sure had time to phone a friend, get his own Commissioner Gordon and be friends with the Punisher a little bit. But he didn't have time to, find some.
Those were all Spidey responsibilities,
I
as
guess.
the other part of him.
I don't know. I feel like that could have much more darker implications if you just went full-fledged Spider-Man for 4 years.
That's fair.
You should have had a much darker
He
Spider-Man.
did.
I
He
feel.
started mutating, dark eyes and everything.
Oh yeah,
So
that
4 years
that
ago,
really
he
got
started popping
resolved
off.
really well. Oh, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna manage both. Wait,
Yeah.
what? That was
Yeah,
wait,
that's-
what? What?
That
That's
yeah.
the secret.
That's a
He's
secret.
always
He's always Spider-Man.
I
Yeah,
for sure
okay.
thought he was gonna get a
Spider-Man.
nightmare sequence where he does see himself as the like at least in Spider Noir we got a moment where he actually saw someone become a spider, but yeah,
Messy,
that's one point I
messy.
was like,
All right, let's get you guys on out of here so you can watch that movie then. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you for
You guys make
bringing
sure you
us
check out
on.
Late to the Party. I will leave. That's the Snyder cut, Akasan. Oh God. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description.
Appreciate it, man.
All right,
Thanks.
see you on the next
Bye.
one. Okay.
Bye.
All right, later. It's a brand new day. Yeah. So yeah, let me see. That's the Snyder cut. Yeah, you can't start at all with the brand new day. I agree with you. Like he managed that balance way too damn. So that's what I'm saying. So here from a screenwriting perspective, I feel like they were trying to juggle way too many concepts. And they semi-resolved them with like, oh, okay, it just works because it works now. You're like, okay, Peter gets shot. Yeah, okay, Jean does some shit. Literally, we need characters just to explain stuff to us because otherwise it would just take too much time to like explain. Jean did voodoo magic and kept you alive. Okay, I guess. Whatever. Oh, are you Spider-Man or are you Peter Parker? I'm both. And so now I get my power. My eyes go back to normal. Like, wait, what? Like, what? Wait, you just spent the good half the amount of the movie just trying to like keep that all under control. You put an inhibitor, then you started skeeting all over that rooftop, and it's like, okay, now you're just in control now. You're in control now. Okay, all right, buddy. Like, I don't know. Yes.
yeah. Some stuff I do think that like is valid criticism of like you should spend more time with the whole mutation thing because it goes from like him freaking out with the mutation to be like, no, I messed up. I didn't understand this girl the right way, and we had to do right by her. And when I was like, no, I think there was more time to be spent of like dealing with how alone he got in those 4 years, and that was like at any point if he doesn't like take a day off or like
Exactly.
actually look into like himself, he can freak out over this. And
Though,
yeah,
to be fair, in Spider-Man 2, Peter loses his powers because it was a conflict of interest. He didn't really know what he was trying to do or what he was trying to be. And if I remember correctly, it's just a talk from Aunt May that gets him back on the saddle again. I don't remember
when she's moving.
So he throws away the uniform, then he decides to stop being Spider-Man, right? In this version, we see him stop being Peter Parker, essentially. But what in chat, you guys have to remind me, in Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire, what was it? What was the catalyst for him to get his suit back from J. Jonah Jameson? Was it like the city was just getting destroyed or something?
Was it MJ being kidnapped?
The doctor gives him the talk? Huh? What doc? Wait, there was a doctor? Wait, or was that? Are we talking about
Dr.
Brand New
Connor?
Day? Not MJ. Harry MB. Harry. Harry got kidnapped, or no, oh, Harry started yelling at him or something, like he needs Spider-Man or something like that. He reminded him that he had a choice. Is that what happened? I don't see. It's been so long, so maybe it's kind of resolved. But I still think Spider-Man 2 must have handled it better, because like Brand New Day was just like, oh, okay, like are you Peter Parker? Are you Spider-Man? Because I feel like they were really on that precipice of making that shit happen properly. And then they even talk about how, listen, the past, they pulled a Lion King. They were like, yo, the past is in the past. It hurt, but it happened and you're gonna move on. It hurts, but it's that memory of it hurting is why we need to try to make sure it doesn't happen again. And listen, Peter, it's gonna be a brand new day. But then they contradict all of that by essentially making Ned maybe alluding to remembering who Spider-Man is, and MJ possibly remembering who Spider-Man is as well. So it's kind of like, all right, so Peter Spidey came to terms with being alone and moving on, all for them just to kind of bring it like, oh, well, never mind though. Like, it's like, all right, nah.
Yeah,
like,
you would think that after that he'd be like, as long as they're okay, that's what's more important to his life, more than him being part of their lives, which does suck. It does suck, but that's the struggle of Spider-Man. Like, knowing that they're gonna be okay, which is why, like, I think if they do revisit the romance between him and MJ, it's just like, then what was the whole point of that great scene of her reading the note and telling him that, like, I'm not her, like, I don't love you, like,
that was great,
and
by the way. I thought that was great. Yeah.
beautiful. And again, that's and again, I know they're married and whatnot, so that might be tough, but like, that's the whole point of Spider-Man, that, like you were saying, that like, it's not just the villains, but also the amount of people he connects and makes friends. And when he does go eventually, it leaves a big impact, not just in the city, but the people. It's not just MJ and Ed. It's more. It's Gwen Stacy. It's J. Jonah Jameson. It's Robbie. It's eventually Miles. It's all these people. And so I would think Captain Stacy, that like they would start showing those people. And that's why when there was that one girl who, like, we live in the same floor, I for sure thought that would have been like a good, like, breadcrumb of like, that's a new friend he's gonna make. It's a brand new day. He's gonna make new friends. It can't be just the same two. And again, it's something that people struggle, that like, sometimes the friends you grew up with, we go different paths. I'm, sadly, I'm not friends with a lot of everybody that I grew up with during high school and middle school. A couple of them still here I'm close with, but not everybody. We all go different paths, and it happens. And you would think they would let that growth happen for the character. But
yeah, exactly. And that's my biggest problem, is like, this movie was anything but a brand new day. And whatever brand new day. Oh, Jesus. Oh, we got a raid. Okay. Thank you for the raid. Yes, man. All right, we're just gonna mute that for a second. But it still comes through my... Okay, whatever. We'll just let it play out. All right. Thanks, guest man. Now we're about to... that'll just get copyrighted by YouTube. Appreciate it. Do you think the lady in the building Peter met was Gwen? No. Oh my God, still? Hold on.
You're good.
Yeah. Loved it so much, we got to do it twice, right? Yeah. Oh my. Is that turned off finally? Okay.
There you go.
Hope so. All right. There you go. No, I don't think that's Gwen. That was just such a cameo. Like that's am I to believe he's just now getting Spidey senses in this movie? Is that what was going on with his senses being? No. I mean,
No.
Have you not seen Far From Home? I mean, we've seen his Spidey sense. I mean, they alluded to the Spidey sense as early as Civil War. Yeah, as early as Civil War, he just alluded. He was like, they're like, how do you do this? Like, Tony Stark was like, how do you do this? He's like, oh, it's just kind of like this. I just have this kind of feeling and thing that I do. But in Infinity War, the hair standing up on his arm was his spidey sense, and then finally they fully did it with the Peter Tingle Far From Home. So yeah. But yeah, my back. Yeah. Okay, so essentially what they're saying is, I think him realizing he has a choice. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was we're talking about Spider-Man 2. It was the conversation between Aunt May and Tobey Maguire, Peter, where Aunt May was talking about how Spider-Man disappeared and the kid was really sad, and it was like this kind of alluding to the idea that Aunt May knew who Peter Parker was,
Yeah.
and this was her way of telling him that it's okay to be Spider-Man, and that
Yeah.
you have a choice to be Spider-Man. And then that's when he chooses to come back and do it like that, so
Yeah, because he tells him like there's this kid who asked him like, "Is Spider-Man gonna come back?" He's like, "I don't know," and he's like, "He needs a role model." And again,
Right.
it's beautiful the way that Aunt May does it. Like, just gives him a little like look of like, "I know who you are, but I'm not gonna say it. We don't have to say it. You don't have to tell me. That's for you to tell me when you want. But I know who you are,
Right.
and there's still there's still good you can do. Like, regardless of what's happened, like there's it's great power comes with great responsibility, and yeah,
It's an
I adore
ongoing
it.
thing in the Brand New Day. It's an ongoing thing about choice, and
Yeah.
people like everybody's dealing with duality, choice, isolation. Hulk, is there for as short of his cameo as it was, the whole thing Bruce Banner talking about, how do you make the choice? Who decides what is present and what is not present, like that?
Yeah.
Which side wins, like that? And then we see kind of that Hulk kind of is back, like we're getting Hulk for a little bit, and then it's kind of just like it's kind of it's almost Age of Ultron Hulk a bit.
I would even say Avengers, the Avengers
Yeah.
Hulk, where it's
Yeah.
like, all right, him having to like battle around and be like, I just want to be left alone. Don't mess with me. And
Right.
yeah.
Right. No, well, yeah, and I guess in that sense, that's what we're getting. Age of Ultron, we got that as well. It's kind of the Hulk. Like, I know what you're saying, like Avenger is like it's the out of control Hulk a bit, but
Yeah.
once again being mind control. But I think Age of Ultron, with Scarlet Witch doing it, was kind of like that was more of a thing. And then toward the end of Age of Ultron, we saw, okay, this is the Hulk we want to see. I do feel like they could have used that a little bit more, but it is what it is. Like
Yeah. You don't
I've
want to be
been
too bloated with other characters, I think. Especially the
yeah,
big ones.
yeah. I mean, I will say I wish we got more Tombstone. Blink and you'll miss him. Yeah, man.
Oh, dude.
I was waiting for all the racial epithets and things to pop on up. Like he didn't talk shit about one black person in that entire movie, dude. I was waiting for it like that. And so that's a very deep dive, y'all. You gotta watch Black Lightning if you want to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because that was the ongoing joke, dude. Was like they were like, "Yo, I can't wait till Tombstone runs into Miles."
It goes off on him.
Yeah, he just starts going off on him. Yeah, Tobias, son. I didn't mind that. To be honest, I didn't mind that because I kind of liked how they sort of like, okay, listen, we got it, and that's about it. But
It exists.
yeah, but I still feel it was a huge disservice, the fact that we jumped 4 years, because I feel like it was so unnecessary. I feel like they seriously could have kept um they it didn't really serve that much of a purpose, other than the fact that now the whole world loves Spider-Man. It was like, okay, but I also feel like you could have
Yeah.
done that within 4 months or so, or a year. A 1 year time gap, 2 year time gap, maybe, but 4 years, all of college is gone. Like, I have so many unanswered questions. Like, did Peter go to college? We saw that he got his GED.
Yeah.
More importantly, like it just bothers me so much that 4 years somehow he has money, but he's still living in like a broke ass life, a lonely ass life. He didn't intern at it doesn't exist, but Osborne or like something the equivalent of
Of Oscorp
Oscorp, Stark Industries, even fucking what's that one? Rodax? Roxxon. Roxxon.
Yes.
Could have worked on Roxxon, anything. Like, this dude is a damn genius, but he's just kind of keeping to himself for 4 years. We're not talking about a 1 year, a gap year. Like, this motherfucker literally was lonely for 4 years. That's the most un-Peter Parker thing. Listen, if his name was Bruce Wayne, I'd understand. like if he was Bruce Wayne or Dick, not even Dick Grayson, no, Jason Todd or something, like, I get it. But it's so weird and off-putting to me, the fact that he spent 4 years just simping over 2 friends on Instagram. I don't know.
Yeah, and like, to me, I think for me the first half is the strongest, but that's where I wanted more stuff out of. Like you said, like those first 4 years, like, and again, we talk about how like he's broke, he has his like very like broken down apartment, but like the dude has like a computer where he runs all his gadgets and tests, and he has a treadmill. When I saw that, I was like, okay, that is not broke. You are not broke unless you really went dumpster diving again. But that is not broke looking. Yeah,
How's
like,
he paying
again, like,
for his electricity bill? Like, bro, and
yeah,
then,
for all that
and
juice.
then wait,
Yeah, yeah.
on top of that, this dude not just had, look, like at the end of No Way Home, I was like, yo, respect. Like, I think that's why Spider-Man resonates, core Spider-Man and comic Spider-Man resonates with the world, because for all his power, this dude is still a broke ass nigga, like trying to pay some fucking bills every month, just like you and me, and doesn't know if he can get the fucking power bill on every month, and that's why the Iron Man Jr. Iron Boy bothered so many people so much, is because his life seemed to be a little too easy, right? But No Way Home set the scale. I'm like, yo, this dude is broke as fuck. He's literally he's fucking cosplaying at this point, sewing together a suit, and people are like, that's cool. I like that. I want him to be as broke and depressed as me. But somehow, some way, now this guy can have a loft. Like, it's not just his apartment. He's got a loft at the top that he's able to just use in New York, of all places. And ordering Little Caesars, which was also another New York cardinal sin. This man lives in New York, in New York City, and he's ordering from Little Caesars. Little Caesars, come on, man. Come on,
that's
man.
sponsorship.
Yeah.
No, but like, to me, that was the shot that, because I didn't look at it. That was Little Caesars.
Protein
but like,
powers are expensive.
to me, that was the saddest shot that I felt the loneliness. Is like,
No Way Home.
Saw his friends.
Oh,
No. In at the beginning of this movie, Brand New Day, where like he orders a pizza, and he opens the door, and there's nobody else. There's nobody across from him. There's nobody behind him. It's just him ordering pizza, eating it by himself. Like, that felt the most lonely. I'm like, good. Stay.
No, he did tell him. He did tell him. He gave him the COVID rules, and he was like, leave it at the door. So
yeah, and like I felt like, damn, there was so much more. I think you could have spent more time there. And again, like I tell people that, like, by now we should have felt either Gwen Stacy or Felicia Hardy around the block, and not even have to just do romance, just another friend to like be with, because and not because I don't like or don't trust Ned and MJ, but it's like I said, I closed the book there. I closed the book there, and not to say that we can't revisit.
No,
it
I 100% agree with you. I really feel like that was enough. That was listen, they could come back into the movie, but they didn't need to be the main parts of that movie anymore. And if this is more, and it's obvious that this is the direction Marvel and Sony want to go, is to have Zendaya be a core part. And I get that, but at the same time, I'm like, you're not stuttering, you're siphoning,
cycling, or like,
no, keeping yourself down. You're You're stumping? No, you're my god. You're I forgot the word. I'm looking
Neglecting.
for.
I
No,
know
it
what you're
starts
trying
with
to
an
say,
S,
yeah.
I think. You're but you're basically holding yourself down from stunting yourself. You're stunting yourself from the natural progression of moving on and growing as an adult, as a person, by continuing to bring them back, and they're in that center fold. You're basically telling us that Peter can't grow as a person um without them. And I understand how contracts work and all that, but it's like, listen, it was supposed to be a brand new day. And we didn't really get that. And whatever we got, whatever brand new thing Spider-Man did, that was all within a 4-year time gap that they glossed over, which is that's the sad part of it all for me personally, like that.
I could see it that way. And again, like to me, going into this movie, the biggest, and I said it in my short, my TikTok, that like I for a while I was gonna watch this movie, but it wasn't on my top 10, top 5 movies to see this year. Not because I hate Spider Man or because I hate Tom Holland or I'm done with the MCU. It's just because I got a trilogy. I got a trilogy. He shows up in 2 Avengers movies and a Captain America movie, and I was like, you know what? If that's all I get of solo adventures, but I see him pop up here and there, I'm okay with that. But we're getting another movie. All right, I'll go watch it because it is Marvel and Spider-Man, and I want to see what they can do with this one. And the main selling point was Destin Daniel Cretton, the director, because I liked what he did with Shang-Chi. Didn't love it. And then I love what he brought to Wonder Man. And that was like, ooh, the guy who helped with that is going to do Spider-Man. And you feel it in this film. It's just that you know, and I had a friend say like some of the MCU elements did feel like it was holding back that thing of centering more on the character, even though there is centering of the character, but you felt like there could have been more time. If it's a 2.5-hour movie, we should, you know, and I agree, we should have felt the 4-year gap more, most definitely. Doesn't mean that like you cut off the Elena scene, which I love those scenes. You doesn't mean you cut off completely MJ and Ned, but
We needed more
you address
nudity.
them?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I
No.
seriously thought I was watching some weird pedal humiliation act. Like it's like, okay, so
Jesus.
Spider-Man's gonna be bug ass naked, but we're not gonna see any of Yelena. Okay, for whatever reason, she's in a bath, but we can't see through that water. Come on now. Anyway, but that's all another
Looking
thing.
looking respectable. But yeah, I think I dug the action. I dug what we got of the action. I was shocked how much I really dug what they did with Frank Castle as the Punisher, and how it worked. That he was in a PG-13 movie, and it didn't quote unquote break my sentiment or my viewpoint of this version of John Berthol's Frank Castle. Because I can see him instantly going back to a mature rated special or show, if you will. And the fact that it was all tough love older brother vibes with him, I love that. And I for sure thought he was going to say that, like, do you want to just spend the rest of your days hanging out with people like us? Like, you have a chance to like hang out with others your age to grow out more. Like, and I think that's the point of his great line, which some people say it feels repetitive. He's always telling people like, you want bad away from being me. It's like, but the
Right.
point is that he's telling a kid, not Matt Murdock, who's a similar age as him, not someone who's as greedy as he is, but someone else who's like, dude, I am fucked. This is the way it's gonna be for me for the rest of my life. You're not there yet. Don't f it up. And I love that was being poured out of him, and kudos to him because he said like he waited, like, I'm not doing this film until I feel like we're getting closer to what I feel the character should be. And you feel it with every scene that he's in with Peter. And again, there's great banter of whole like, are you afraid to face the Hulk? He's like, yeah. He's like, are you blushing because she asked me to look after you? He's like, I'm not blushing. And I just like, so I think there are good elements to it, but again, there's fair critique.
Well, speaking of brand new day, Matthew Haynes, also a YouTuber. Matthew, why don't you jump on in here, bro? We haven't seen you. Yeah, we have Matthew Haynes, also YouTuber as well. He's telling, because it's a brand new day, Ronan, he's saying, how do I get Ronan to notice me? I need him to know that he has to take that Messi poster down. It's a brand new day, Ronan. You got to move on. Like, yeah, it's all, yeah.
Barcelona Messi, not Argentina Messi. Okay, Barcelona Messi. I know, man. It's good seeing you on the chat, but join us, Matthew. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a
Yeah,
minute,
just
man.
hit me
Gotta
up
talk
on
to you.
Insta if you want the invite. Well, we can do this just a little bit longer. But yeah. Like listen, and then also somebody said, Akasan, did you even like this movie? Like, I liked it. I didn't love it. Like the visually, I thought it was great.
Mhm.
I really liked. Yeah, just hit me up, Matthew, on Instagram, and then I'll send you the
The
invite.
music, bro.
I thought the music was cool. I just felt like what there were lots of nods comic wise that I thought that they did
Mhm.
a good job. For example, the costume changes were a little blunt sometimes. I'm kind of glad they didn't have that fruity ass Fruit Loops looking ass shiny bedazzled suit at the end of No Way Home. I'm glad they kind of toned it down just a little bit. I like the nods that they did for like the fact that you could actually see Peter's eyes
Oh,
every
dude.
once in a while. Yeah.
Ross, it's me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
But even when he's sitting at the desk talking to damage control guy, ain't nobody know who the fuck his name is, but damage control guy, black guy with beard, you could see his eyes every once in a while. He was just really chilling half the time in that suit, which was kind of, so it was a little, I liked it because of the fact that it felt more common and casual, like a cosplayer. And it was also a little jarring too, because we've been so used to Spidey in the nanotech suits and like these
Yeah.
high tech suits that him just walking around looking like a regular dude was kind of jarring sometimes. But I kind of like that. I like that sometimes when it was dark and the shadows were out, the suit changed to more of the black and red suit. So this is something that happens in the comics a lot when Spider-Man's like talking to people or whatever. Um um so instead, to save on ink and to make it blend more with the comics, Spider-Man tends to have a red and black suit. So the black changes, the blue changes to black, especially at nighttime in the comics. It's just an artistic
Way
choice
more
that
navy.
that people choose. But in the comic, in the movie A Brand New Day, they actually made that work sometimes, because every once in a while it looked like it was kind of a red and black suit. So I kind of like how they did that. So that was cool, man. I really he's the Severance guy. Do I have it over the Amazing Spider-Man movies? No, I don't actually. I personally, so
Mm.
all right. So when it comes to, hold on, let me just send the invite to Matthew, and so I'm not always looking at my screen, and I'll be I can Matthew. There we
Behave.
go. There you go. Oh, there you go. You just sent me a message. There you go. All right, there you go. Cool. So I haven't seen Akasan in ever. Yeah, man, it's a brand new day. I got blipped, y'all. I got blipped. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Lance? All right. So, what I was gonna say was, so it's hard to kind of rank the Tom Holland movies because a lot of it is so cameo heavy sometimes, or he's not like, so like, because for me, honestly, Spider-Man is as important to Infinity War as everybody else. Like, he's a big part of Infinity War. So it's not a Spider-Man movie, but Spider-Man has a big presence in that movie. Same thing with Civil War, same situation. A lot of people forget that that's literally the first time we see Spider-Man. It's not even in his own movie, and that was a cool little introduction there as well. Which I think was one of his best. But I would have to say that if I were to say what I think Tom Holland is the best Peter Parker and Spider-Man combination to date now. but that's also given the fact that he's been in like 8 movies. Like we've
Yeah.
seen a lot of him. So we've kind of adjusted. He's had time to kind of grow into the role and understand the assignment. Whereas Toby and Toby gets a
Andrew
pass.
Garfield.
Yeah, he's the first. Andrew Garfield,
Right.
was kind of thrown in the mix of a bad situation and never I still think that Andrew Garfield so before Tom Holland, I think Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man. I think Tobey Maguire played the best Golden Age Peter Parker like that. Andrew Garfield played a drunk Peter Parker and didn't really work so well. But now Tom Holland has really had the time to play the best of both worlds, which disappoints me that much because the time gap. Because the time gap was the best. Him out of No Way Home was the best time to explore an adult Peter Parker, for Tom Holland to play an adult Peter Parker. But I feel like they've retracted by them retconning some stuff where we haven't really seen Peter Parker grow at all. We've seen Spider-Man, but not so much Peter Parker. All right, here we go. Matthew in the house. Andrew was such a cool.
Oh my
Peter.
God.
What up, man? What up?
You're muted, bro.
You're muted.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
There, we can hear
Yeah,
you
there you
now.
go.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's up, y'all? How y'all
What up?
doing?
What up? What up? I think actually this is the first time I've ever met Matthew. I think.
No.
No?
A few years
We
ago.
did,
No. A few years ago, there was a thing.
DC.
Yeah,
DC stream.
there was a-
Marvel
yeah,
versus
yeah, yeah.
DC, or it was
No,
a
no.
trivia
It was
thing
a-
with
I
Blind
think it
Wave.
was a trivia thing.
right.
Is that what it was?
Mhm.
Okay.
I met most of you guys around.
Yeah, that
around
doesn't
time a
count
few years
then.
ago, yeah.
That's like saying that Hulk and Spider-Man know each other because they met on the battlefield
okay.
in Endgame. Oh, it must have happened, Akason. What do you mean they had no relationship? They didn't, motherfucker. They were fighting to save their fucking life. Like, there you go. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, welcome, dude. Yeah. If you guys
Thank you.
don't know, make sure you follow Matthew Haynes on. Do you do anything but YouTube? Are you on TikTok or anything?
Just mainly YouTube right now.
All right, sounds good, man. Yeah. Make sure you guys follow him as well. Yes. So what did you feel the movie and such? Like your impressions going in, because I feel like we're more on the more critical. I think Ronan is kind of in between right now.
Yeah.
Like I think you enjoyed it as a movie, but also you can't ignore some of the plot holes, right? So
I can see some validation of the criticism. Yeah.
How about you, Matthew?
Yeah, for me, I would say I'm walking that line a little bit, because my thing is whenever I go into a movie, especially now, I try to view it from an enjoyment standpoint, because I was one of the few people that had and I knew this leaving the theaters. I was one of the very few people that enjoyed Supergirl, even though everything that was wrong with it was wrong with it. and you can have those conversations all day. There was so many things wrong with that film. But I just enjoyed it as just as a movie going experience. So for me, Brand New Day was very much like that. I love the music choices. Like TV on the Radio is one of my favorite groups, and just hearing that in Tame Impala, some of the music choices and all of that stuff. So as a fan, day one, it was fun. And then later I try to think about the movie a little bit more deeply, see what other people are feeling, but just kind of think about the movie for myself. And then yes, there are issues with the film. But overall enjoyment level, I think I just had a great time with the movie as an experience in the theaters, and I'll be seeing it again this weekend for IMAX, since that they're doing that whole thing this weekend. So
we got it because we don't the only thing we have to deal with is Chisawa, like some animated thing, but we don't have Dune or anything yet. Dune comes out, not Dune, Odyssey comes out in September out here, so there wasn't a problem. But
Odyssey wasn't out for you guys yet?
No, we ain't.
Oh well,
ain't nobody gives a shit about Odyssey, mythology in Japan. Oh my god, yeah, bro. We didn't even get Oppenheimer out on time for good reason. Yeah, for good reason. But yeah, anyways, this was the poster that is given to you.
Right on.
So. pretty cool. It's got a very Alex Ross kind of feel and appeal to it. So, like, yeah, I really liked his costume this time around because it actually reminded me of the Japanese Spider-Man, and things like that. So,
The live action one,
yeah,
I do have a take. I do have a take though, for the Tom Holland verse, if I can share.
Sure, of course.
I talked about this with my wife a little bit too, and we were discussing the Tom Holland movies as a whole, right? And we were like, because honestly, I'm a Toby head. I'll be real with you. I just
Nothing
grew
wrong
up
with
loving
that.
Toby's movies, and so I was not really a huge fan of Tom Holland's films. Really, I thought they were just okay, right? I love Spider-Man, but I just thought they were okay. I think this was his best one.
Wow.
That might be saying much. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, to be honest with you. I think it might be.
I
his
think
best
generally
one.
a lot of people have been saying that. I don't agree. You all are wrong, but I feel personally, Tom Holland's best performance was No Way Home. And the reason I say that is because he was tested on all levels. But primarily he was tested as Peter for all aspects. And I think he played the part extremely well about somebody between a rock and a hard place, dealing with his secret identity being leaked, trying to take care of the people around him, and failing at that. With the loss of Aunt May and all that. I feel like Peter's world was like, you can take away the cameos and it's still a really good story about Peter's world being tested, whereas Brand New Day, as everybody already knows my gripe with it, they skipped all of that. And they were just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you know what? Nah, whatever happened in No Way Home, yeah, okay, they're gonna all come back. Nothing's really changed in 4 years like that. So that's my take on it.
You. So, follow-up question: do you think that type of approach was necessary for this film? Like, genuine question.
You're talking about Brand New Day, the time jump?
Mm-hmm.
No, 100%.
Like, just the rules or the expectations or the things you liked from No Way Home. Do you think that it was necessary to apply that same type of approach for Brand New Day?
So you mean like with multiverse or just the storytelling?
No, just like the aspects that you just pointed out, the things that made you like No Way Home and why? Yeah, do you think that
100%. Yeah,
okay.
So as someone who grew up on Spider-Man in the goddamn newspaper, like that's how I was introduced to Spider-Man. I was introduced to Spider-Man through these weekly comic strips, like you guys can't even imagine, like back in the Los Angeles Times used to have comic strips. It was Beauty and the Beast, Snoopy, and the Amazing, or Spider-Man, written by Stan Lee. That's how I was introduced to him. Then
my grandfather had a bunch of them. That's how I read them too.
There you go. So that's how I was introduced to him. Then eventually I got into the Amazing Spider-Man, and Spider-Man was already married. But then I started backtracking and reading all the younger ones before he was married. So I grew up with that Spidey in college and things like that. And the thing about the Amazing Spider-Man was the fact that it always was, like, I would say 40%, 60% focused on Peter's life. Spider-Man was the other part. Then in the Spider-Man title, it was more about just Spider-Man. The web of Spider-Man, or Web of Shadow or something like that, that was more a mix. And then the Sensational Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, which had horrible artwork, but that one was the one that mixed in with like Captain America and all the other guys or whatever. So that being said, Amazing Spider-Man was always heavy-handed drama dealing with Cornroll, Harry Osborn, and all that. But to answer your question, this is the thing. Homecoming was focusing on Peter's relationship with Iron Man, etc., making his own thing, whatever. Far From Home was dealing with the grief and not really the grief, but the survivor outcome from the snap, decimation, and seeing Peter try to balance, get his life together, and also finally confess to Mary Jane, or MJ, that he's Spider-Man, and trying to deal with all that. And also it's him dealing with the grief of losing Tony Stark. Then No Way Home was dealing with the direct fallout from the end of Far From Home, his identity being leaked. And I thought that was the best storytelling. Brand New Day was supposed to deal with the fallout from No Way Home, broke ass Peter, no identity, blah, blah, blah. And 4 years go by, time jump. Oh, we don't see any of that. Okay. I feel like it was just such a disservice in terms of the writing, and I feel like the writers were kind of either they wrote themselves into a hole and they didn't really know how to make a interesting story dealing with 4 years of that, or Zendaya's contract and Ned Leeds' contract dictated that they needed more time, they needed more screen time in the movie or something like that, and so they had to throw a female lead in as quick as possible because the contracts mandated. I don't know, but yeah, so that's to answer your question. I feel like they didn't really do a good job of dealing with Peter's life so much, and they indirectly tried to tell that story through Jean Grey instead.
That's interesting, yeah, because I ranked this movie as either my favorite of his or the second one. To me, Homecoming and this one are still my favorites. And again, doesn't take away anything that Far From Home did, or what No Way Home did, which was again a unique experience on its own, a generational thing. But like, I'm also someone still longing to like, okay, Spider-Man's part of the MCU. How about for one movie, we barely have cameos. We can throw the reference that like we exist in the MCU, but we mainly just deal with Peter, a villain, and other friends and coworkers, and maybe get him to do the Daily Bugle and see how that feels. That he exists in a shared universe, but it's honed in on him, and we don't have to worry about paying big money for cameos and whatnot. Like if you have to have a cameo, it's a quick 5-minute thing, much like the Yelena scene, just like in and out,
Pointless.
That's it. And again, like to have that focus in and be like, no, it's all about Peter, and he doesn't have to interact for a whole movie with Iron Man or with Nick Fury or with the other Spider-Man, which again that was his own unique thing because it was about how two other guys who he's gone through, how they ended up, and it's like, no, it's not too late for you. And so I'm hoping that one day we still get a movie where it's Spider-Man plus this and this character in the poster. It's like, no, you don't even mention them, even put those people in the press tour. Just have that a unique surprise for those who dare to go watch another movie about Spider-Man.
Now, I will, just to counter, like, I agree with you. However, Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, and people hated that aspect. People really did. Like, I didn't have a problem with it, but some people really hated the fact that they turned Spider-Man into a rom-com, or like like just Harry and Peter fucking around on the over by the river, and they're just throwing rocks and talking. Like, I thought it was fine. I liked it, but a good amount of people just hated that aspect of it. So that's the hardest thing. It's like, it's hard to find that balance, I guess.
Yeah.
I never had a friend like that in high school, so when I watched that in high school, I like that.
Oh,
I mean,
man,
I mean, seriously. I mean, like, you live vicariously through movies and stuff, So
Right.
for me, I enjoyed that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
While
No,
I
but
didn't
people,
like the ending of the film.
people mad hated that, like with the way Andrews, Peter, and Spider-Man was stalking Gwen Stacy, like just following him, taking photos, and like it was like I was fine with it, but yeah, a lot of people were mad weird about it. They did not like it.
You want to know what I was curious about though, going into Brand New Day or leaving Brand New Day? I was wondering. I was just really surprised that this was, I think, the first Spider-Man movie I saw where there wasn't a forced Sony phone or a Sony laptop somewhere on the screen.
The phone.
I was actually. Yeah, I was just happy. I was like, "Whoa, is that a Z Flip? Is that a Z Fold?" I'm like, I'm not seeing Sony because like
I'm pretty sure his laptop was
products?
no, it was a Sony. I think it was a Sony laptop.
Was it?
Yeah, I think almost everything in there,
Wait,
was.
really?
I bet you that was a Sony treadmill. You know,
Because you know, like all the movies, they go the extra mile to
Yeah.
have that brand
Yeah.
placement of the Sony logo everywhere. So I was deliberately looking at his phone.
Oh.
He's using a Galaxy phone. I'm like, wait a minute, this is not a Sony device, a random Sony phone I never heard about that apparently I can buy, but I can't find it anywhere. It's like, you know, it's just all the other movies are like that, but it's just a weird thing. But
I mean,
yeah,
from the trailer, people were just like, "Yo, how the hell is this motherfucker affording a Sony Ericsson? Like, I can't afford a
Yeah.
Sony Ericsson." I mean, and there was a whole, if I remember correctly, there is a Sony, there's a phone commercial dedicated to Brand New Day and everything. So I forgot exactly what it was, but it's something to do with the fact that you can flip your phone open. It's like an actual Sony commercial that goes in line with Brand New Day. And there's one with Messi as well. I forgot what it was though.
Yeah.
Was it the Visa card or something like that?
That's my
What?
guess. Which, yeah.
Messi.
I think it was during the
Messi.
World Cup.
Messi. Let me stop.
Yeah, Messi literally was like getting webs swung around.
I'm
Like
messing with Ronan because of the
I know, I get it. I mean,
listen, I was a Messi fan growing up. So I'm just messing with you, bro.
yeah.
I
He
know,
also
man.
uses an Asus laptop in Brand New Day. Is that Sony or not? Yeah, Asus.
Is this who Sony?
I don't know. Maybe it's their cheaper line. Yeah. I don't know.
But again,
Uh,
like it's a lot of stuff that doesn't help sell. Like, oh, he's broke, or like he's
Yep.
Right.
you know,
Right.
comes to diving, which again,
So-
like, I thought, like, yeah,
The AI part, that I can automatically. I didn't think that was a big problem because of the
I
fact
could buy
that
it.
Chat GPT now talks the same way. You can have Cloud do all of that, so that
I
didn't
mean, you can
bother
build that
me.
on a Raspberry. You can build that on a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah. So that's no
be honest.
problem. I literally have parts like, oh shit. I literally have parts like that right now that you can actually do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that never bothered me too much, but it was just more or less like, it's kind of a glaring, not plot hole, but it is something that does need to be explained a bit though. Because
out.
everybody's asking, just like, yo, like listen, if we saw him dumpster diving once or twice, I
Mm.
think that would have chilled everybody, like if he's like
Go to Goodwill. Fuck.
well,
you know, like, something.
not even that. Look, 4 years in the game, right? 4 years in the game, that flashback, literally all we needed to see him was like like a boat's tipping over and electronics are going in there. He's like, oh shit, I need that shit. And he starts diving in there, but like that. Or on top of that, look, Sony, bro, we could even have some Sony executives right there. He's at Tokyo Game Show and shit. And he's just like waving, and look, they gave him a key to the city. Bro, Sony will give him that endorsement and give him a PlayStation, like it's not like it wasn't that hard, but I also understand because a lot of people forget. Yeah, he got the key to the city, so people be giving him some free stuff every once in a while. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I need. That's the Akasun. That's the Akasun cut. I need Peter dumpster diving. So,
It's one of those things when I was watching a movie where it was at the back of my mind that I'm like, wait a minute, like how is he paying for this? But I think my perspective was I was more focused. That's how you get a whole ass 3D printer and all that shit. I'm like, how the hell?
Yep.
Them things are expensive. But I was I was thinking.
no,
like,
you're not
my
wrong.
main-
You are not wrong. Yeah, it was like
No.
what?
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm like 3D printer. All right, I guess he has.
He
that.
went
I
from
don't
a sewing
But-
machine to a 3-year printer to a fucking 3D printer. I was like, wait, bro, how are you? Who's paying the electrical bill for this? Like,
that's another thing too. They do suck a lot of juice out of your electric bill. But
he's using an arc reactor in the back somewhere.
Maybe I was thinking maybe
He ripped it from Electro.
I don't know. Maybe he took it from his old mask or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. The corpse of Tony Stark. I don't know.
Oh no.
No, my perspective in all of this was I was just more focused on seeing how Spider-Man would resolve the incoming issues rather than focusing too much on all the other stuff. I just wanted to see, okay, how will he approach this without his aunt being there? How will he approach this without Tony Stark to run to? How will he approach this? Yes, he did go to Yelena, but that's networking. You know, that's networking.
Mm.
You go into somebody for information. I don't really count that as him running for, mommy, come help me. I don't really want to think it was anything like that. I was satisfied with seeing how he was able to solve these issues as a young adult, or as a full grown adult. Now he's no longer a kid anymore.
Correct.
And he's making decisions. He has to make these very tough decisions. He's even telling Frank, like, Frank, this is like above, this is above your pay grade. Like, you can't deal with this. So it's like, I was more interested in seeing how he problem solved as an adult version of Spider-Man that's no longer relying on his aunt, relying too much on his friends or his peers. And I was satisfied with that aspect of the portrayal.
Facts.
Sure.
How often do you think he saw Aunt May? Because it seemed like he was going there like every week. I'm like,
he saw her a lot though.
Right? I was like, damn. Bro.
Yeah. No, you definitely. I mean, I get it though. I lost someone like that as well. So I was pretty much doing that a lot too. Pretty there frequently as much as I could be. So I didn't find that part too abnormal.
No, I didn't think it was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was weird. I was just like, I know the money situation keeps coming up, but I was just like, oh damn, bro. Like, okay, all right. I was like, damn, he's, and then like, what is his route? Like I'm still trying to like. It's annoying and it's really a nitpick, but I just want to know, what the hell does he do all day? Like when he's Spider-Manning, at what point does he need to take a train? I mean, I guess in terms like he takes the train to go see May, I guess, instead of web swinging, I guess.
Yeah, he's the one nobody following him to the cemetery.
Right. Is that what it is?
I mean, every now and again, you got to remind yourself that what it feels like to be somewhat human.
Yeah,
maybe that's part of the routine. Intentionally taking the train as part of a routine, as a normal human routine.
Maybe.
I know people have been, complaining whenever they see the Lanterns footage, and like, why are they always driving? What's the deal with them walking going on? It's like, guys, they can't be using the ring the whole damn time. Like.
That's
like,
look, bro. Let's be honest, right? If anybody in the chat right now, or anybody watching this wherever, if you had powers, right? Let's be real. In a realistic situation, would you feel comfortable just swinging or flying everywhere without worrying about the government or some person trying to find you? Or
I mean, there was that Spidey tracker, right? So yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The Spidey tracker, just for like your normal commute to the grocery store. You're trying to go to like you're trying to go buy some food or something for dinner. You're gonna get on your suit and fly there? Like, no. Like maybe if you're in costume and you're trying to like, you're doing your superhero stuff, sure, but like you're trying to go, get some fries or something. Like, like I don't know. I don't think it really makes sense to do that.
Questions here. Do you guys think that do you think Hulk remembered Spider-Man at the end? That is to say, has Hulk ever met Spider-Man too? That's the whole thing. I'm saying.
Maybe at the funeral, but like even then.
But that was Peter, not Spider-Man.
True.
Right? Like people are saying that he remembers Spider-Man, but I'm like, bro, he's worse off than MJ. He's like, I don't even know you, bro. like
are
smart
they trying
Hulk,
to maybe refer to like his moment where he kind of like hesitated, or that
right?
Is that what they're trying to?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a different reason for why that happened. I think.
I mean, I personally just saw that as a Mufasa looked in his reflection like Mulan and then peaced out. I was like, okay.
I don't know. I think we know that Hulk knows what he is. We know that Hulk is aware of the being that he is. He's aware of how people see him, right? So he's, like you said, he's looking in a reflection and he's like, maybe I am a monster. Maybe I am what they tell me I am. I just want to be Hulk, but they don't see me as Hulk. They see me as Hulk the monster, not Hulk the being. Remember, Hulk is that's an even deeper conversation. We can go on another hour about that. Hulk is this being that is consistently and continually fighting to try to just exist. He just wants to exist, and he has to react and defend himself at all times because he can't just exist. And he's constantly fighting with another consciousness to exist. So that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, we haven't seen that Hulk since arguably Ultron or Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Maybe.
I would
But
say
see,
Ragnarok.
that we didn't have Savage Hulk in Ragnarok. We had like we didn't have Smart Hulk, but we had like something in between. I don't know what
I
it
mean,
is.
bro
but-
had a 9 to 5, a bed, food.
right.
You know, this is probably the first time in the MCU's history where he felt that he can exist as a being. Maybe.
Right. I guess
know,
it was
he's
just
being human.
I think we just call him World War Hulk or Planet Hulk, and he has some intelligence, but not much, and Banner barely comes out. So, and Smart Hulk is indeed the fusion of the two, but it seems to be that Smart Hulk, Banner is more in control on that one, and then every other one we've just had mind control Hulk. So it's like, you know.
Right.
Or out of control Hulk. People are trying to call it Gray Hulk, but you know, I feel like we've had a bigger Hulk. Avengers Hulk was bigger than Brand New Day Hulk. So when he went out of control, right? So I thought that
I
was
think
kind of
so.
a weird line. Spider-Man was like, I didn't know you could get that big. I'm like, he's thicker. He's thicker than Smart Hulk, but he's actually shorter. So I don't know.
I think that might have been the biggest that Spider-Man has seen him.
yeah,
Up close.
yeah, maybe,
Yeah, right, like
maybe,
up close. Yeah,
maybe it
'Cause, like, of
wasn't
course,
that
everyone's
important.
seen
Yeah.
the pictures.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's seen the pictures. I did think of that too, though, because I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, he's definitely been bigger than that.
Right.
But
right.
then it's like, you know, Spider-Man just, you know, like you know, Ron said, like up close, you never encountered him in that way. So, you know, maybe that's just what it is. I don't know.
Facts.
It
Now,
could have just been a cheap comedy bit.
This is true. Now, okay, so let's talk about speculation. Do you think at the when MJ does her fuck all there's there's actually another pop culture movie that happens to where people start remembering, they do the mannequin challenge and people start remembering things. But when when Jean Grey does her whole thing, everybody's frozen. We see MJ crying. And later we also see Ned Leeds doing muscle memory, and the famous Peter line. Do you think anybody within that 1K radius of that mental explosion or whatever, do you think they were affected by has the spell been sort of broken? And more importantly, does MJ now remember everything? Does Ned Leeds now remember everything?
Ooh, I have a lot to say, but
Man,
yeah.
it's that thing of like, do we just untwirl everything we worked towards by the time we got to No Way Home, and do we just press the reset button? Which I don't want them to press the reset button. Like,
I agree.
Like, some of that stuff should last. I think you could acknowledge, okay, you might know him, but like, and it's again, it's what I liked how, you know, in my opinion, how Guardians 3 handled it. Gomorrah says like, you know, I might be alive, but you and I are not the same as we were beforehand. And Quill accepts that. He's like, all right, we used to be damn a good thing, and now I got to do my own thing. And this, I'm afraid
I'm gonna do my own thing. Sorry.
I know. Sorry, Miles. I'm scared that like they're gonna attempt to just restart everything, and it's like, no, you could address them, you could still stay in touch with them, but you gotta let them live. Like they've lived their own life. It's 4 years. It's four very formative college years. You can't just just go in and be like, oh, by the way, I'm also hanging out with you guys. No, that doesn't feel earned. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know. I how do I explain this without really saying like doing too much? I think okay, so I feel like we know that the brain is a very complicated piece of our body, right? You don't just forget everything. It's just, even if you, and I've actually recently watched like a documentary about like people going like brain dead and stuff like that, right? Even in that moment, there's still parts of their brain where they remember certain things of their lives, and or their body also reacts to certain sounds, certain music, different things, different stimuli, right? So I feel like maybe this is what I'm thinking, and this is the only way I can accept maybe them doing this instead of the reset button, is like how Ned has his muscle memory with the handshake and everything like that. I feel like this is maybe a trigger that lets them feel familiarity and know that, wait a minute, I know you somehow. Maybe I have some memories of it. Maybe I see dreams of certain things, but they're never fully going to get that, those experiences back. But it's going to be now a new situation where they're like, you know what? I actually do know this person. I keep seeing memories. It all makes sense. I do know you, but at this point, we're focusing on developing this new relationship, this new who you are today, and what our relationship will be like going in the future. So I think that's kind of a way for them to maybe hone in on the fact that, wait a minute, this was my boyfriend. I did know him from like back then. I don't really remember too much, but all I know is that we were in a relationship. I cared about him a lot, and and obviously MJ already knew that from reading the note, but she didn't feel it, right? I feel like this thing with Jean doing what she did might allow her to feel the connection that they had, because that stuff is going to stay with you no matter what. There's no spell that can get rid of that.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So I think that's the only way I can really accept. Because like you, Ronan, I don't want them. I was really afraid watching Brand New Day that they were gonna have Jean go, you know what? For compensation for my sins, I'm just gonna help her remember you, and do this whole thing. And now she remembers you. I was really hoping. I'm telling my wife, I'm like, please don't do it, please don't do it, please don't do it. And then they didn't do it. But then when the pulse happened, I was like, wait a minute, that might be the loophole for them to find a way to connect their connection.
Sorry, what did you say? The pulse?
Sorry, the loop, the pulse, the little thing that the freeze frame thing that she did with her brain when Jean froze everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. When she froze everyone, I felt like that was the moment for them to to maybe trigger that connection with their past without necessarily giving a full reset or going the Gamora route. I feel like the Gamora route, there was just no way for that to that was just that. And she's like, like Roman said, she came to an point of acceptance, and so did Peter Quill. But Peter needs his MJ. And as long as Tom and Zendaya are married, they're gonna need to, have some connection. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Mm-hmm.
Listen, Anna, and again, I am happy that they do care about each other and love each other that much. I'm happy for them. Truly, truly happy for them. But if she can hang out and mess around in the desert, then there's no way, it should be fair game to
I mean, she did a lot more than that. Talk about tennis camp,
The tennis
challengers.
You must have known.
So you want Gwen Stacy? You want Gwen Stacy and Peter? Oh, no.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the ironic part. I grew up with the Spider-Man TAS animated series, and that was so focused on MJ and Felicia Hardy. And then when I got, when that show ended, I learned about Gwen Stacy and how much she meant so much to him. And, hell, because it's the MCU and it is what it is, we haven't introduced Gwen Stacy for some odd reason. That if you want, at this point, you could flip it where it was Gwen Stacy was his first true love, and then he found MJ. If MJ was his first true love in the MCU, it's only a matter of time that I would say get someone to, hire an amazing actress to be Gwen Stacy and just knock on his door and be like, hey, Tiger, face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot and flip it. Or hell, even, if you want to lean into more of the Spider-Man stuff, bring in his own, it's blasphemy, but it's his own counter of Catwoman. It's like, all right, Felicia Hardy, she loves robbing stuff and loves the thrill of it. He loves the thrill of being a Spider-Man. Can they make it work romantically? Who knows? And again, I would think that there would be space for that. They're both professionals. You can leave it at that if that's something that they're worried about. But you make the uniqueness of him being part of the MCU, you make it smaller if you just have two core friends. If that's it, if it doesn't grow more beyond that, because who knows when he's gonna be friends with Johnny Storm? Who knows when that's gonna develop, because he is a big they're close friends in the comics. When does that let him have a lasting impact besides just two people and the city that cared about him over the years? That's always what I respected, and why, to me, Spider-Man was so formative, because it wasn't just Harry, it wasn't just MJ, there was Felicia, there was give me some of the other bullpen people from Daily Bugle. There's so much you could do with that as well. And again, that's why I appreciate that the actors from the bear, the wolf, that at least he had that connection with someone. And that's why, to me, that's my favorite scene of the whole movie, is when he flips out and he almost kills a cop. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, is she okay? Let me go help her." And she tells him, "No, you've done enough. Like, I need you to take care of yourself. Figure this out and get it done because I can't protect you anymore if this happens
Yep.
again." That's my favorite scene of the whole movie. And I was like, there was somebody, a cop, his own quote unquote Jim Gordon, saying like, "Hey man, we don't know each other, but like I know you're not bad, but you're a
Something ain't
vigilante.
right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
get your together and get it done and whatnot." So I like that he had that, which is again, it's his quote unquote at that point Captain Gwen Stacy. But again, there's plenty of tapestry to dive into with the character more, and I just hope they don't keep it so close in. There's a way to make these movies, especially a Spider-Man movie, make it feel both big and small at the same time, which I appreciate when movies do that. But in order for that to happen, you got to look at your whole tapestry and not just go for the two that has been with you for the past 4 or 5 movies. I
Exactly.
think.
But also, and then something else to keep in mind, because I agree with you on all points about this. Narrative wise, though, we have to think about the bigger picture, big potatoes here. And I'm not talking about within the Spider-Man universe, but in the MCU overall. We're not going to feel it in Doomsday yet. Most likelihood. We're not going to feel it in Doomsday, but we are going to feel it in Secret Wars. In all, I would say 90%, there's a 90% chance that we're getting a medium to hard reboot of the entire MCU at that point in time. With Secret Wars, the whole idea is Doctor Doom. It's not really a spoiler, but this is just basically what I know from the comic. Jonathan
Hickman.
Jonathan Hickman, one of the greatest X-Men writers of all time. And Avengers. Doom runs his simulations or whatever, creates like the perfect world, Doom world. He's fucking Sue Storm. He's fucking Lady Loki. He's that dude. He's that man. Anyways, eventually at the end of the day, all the universes are battling for dominance to be the surviving universe. At the end, I think it all just converges together and you get this brand new world. Essentially, I think that's what's going to happen with the MCU as their way of introducing the mutants, getting the Fantastic Four within here, making everything work. And I feel like that's also kind of the best out for Spider-Man as well is... yes, eventually Ned Leeds and MJ are going to come back into the fold again, but I really wish they would just use this time to keep on going down a path that they can't get back from until they do a hard reboot. So I agree with the fact of keeping all of them separated for a while, letting Spider-Man live his life for a good amount of time, a separate life, and then after Secret Wars, you can just rewrite the story as well as you see fit or so. It might be a little confusing, but who's to say we haven't already pulled that off with Far From Home? So
Do they do the cover?
I mean, I don't disagree. Oh, sorry.
Do they do Secret Wars issue 8, black suit, and then they dive into like, all right, he was dealing with mutation. What happens when he has the edge towards him? And then again, I think that's why you leave an opportunity of like you bring in someone like Felicia Hardy who rides that weight of like good, bad, and what does that do when he has that suit on? Does that flips him over? I don't know. I think
not a bit. I actually agree with that too. Yeah, go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, please.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I don't disagree at all with bringing in some of the other characters that he has had relationships with and bonds with. I do. When I said that I think that it'll lead to them coming back, I agree with what Augustin was saying. Like it can be further down the line, however long they want that to be. But yeah, for sure, they should definitely take the chance to explore some of those other stories because we didn't get to really see much of that on screen, at least in live action, at all. I mean, they flirted with it in The Amazing Spider-Man. They flirted with it in the third Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film as well. And, when him and MJ, were going through what they were going through in those movies. But we didn't get to really see too many of the other characters. And we're not going to count like Insomniac Spider-Man, and stuff like, we're not gonna count that because you can get away with a lot more in those forms of media. But yeah, I do agree with that. It would be great to see some of the other people he's had relationships with and friendships with show up during this time.
I feel like we're also kind of like in this weird uncanny territory because Spider-Man has had Tom Holland Spider-Man has had 3 solo movies, quote unquote. 3 cameo movies. Right? Is that right? So 6 movies total, and now
Civil
Brand
War,
New Day
Two
makes it
Avengers.
Brand New Day makes it 7, right? 7 movies, right? So
He's getting like what, 2 or 3 more, right?
yeah, he's definitely doing
Yeah.
2 more. Even though he's trying to pull a Robert Downey Jr. and act like he's done on the next one. But
I mean,
whatever.
Kevin Feige said he's getting like at least
Yeah,
there's 2 to 3 more movies being
Um,
made. So
But so I think Marvel and Sony are in such a weird position because they don't really know how far they can take it at this point because of the fact that they've only been really used to just doing 2 or 3 movies and then closing the lid on that, right? So it's really hard to say. But at the same time, they're also indebted to Zendaya. I don't think he's interesting, the Ned Leeds guy, but I don't think him being in the movie does not really dictate box sales like that. But Zendaya 100% does, and that's the biggest problem. Is like, as much as the story would be better to allow it not to have her in the movie, she does need to be in the movie, from a contractual standpoint, because if we lose her, then it makes it a bigger problem, so that's an issue as well. I don't know.
We shall see. Hopefully,
Yeah.
they both find the notion that, like, even again, like, if you need to have a presence felt, have him have a wallet and have a photo of him and her when they were when during the love years, and be like, keep that there if you want. But like, again, if I care about a character like that so much, you need to get more space with him if you want him to be that generational thing that hits
Facts.
more than just 2 people. Like, again,
Because we didn't really feel it, the separation. Yes, it happened for 4 years, but we didn't, as an audience, we didn't actually see it because we didn't get to really, really feel it that much.
the most was the fake out kiss. That was the most I felt, and I was like, oh man, that fucking sucked. But like, yeah, it would have been like such a more gut punch thing if you spend more time with that. And again, there's numerous characters across Marvel where like they go through phases, and those phases give weight to when either we say goodbye to them or when they pass the torch to someone else, I think.
So that being said, Blade has a question. So would we want
Mahershala? Just kidding.
would we want that's a whole nother story. Yeah, black actors out of work. That was a whole thing. Wonder Man,
That's a whole-
Blade,
yeah,
what
that's
up?
a whole
Yo, that's a whole
conversation.
different thing. All right, but speaking of which, black actors. So would we want a Miles Morales Spider-Man taking over for Peter Parker? That is so we can end the Tom Holland version and have that actor and the character ride off into the sunset.
we need that.
Oh wow, damn. Oh, you need Tom Holland to ride off into the sunset, or you need a Miles Morales? Hold up.
We need the passing of the. I that's a question I get really like excited about. Really, honestly, I love talking about that because I think the Insomniac did it really well, despite the game having some story problems. But I think that was that's one of the things they did really well, was not only giving him his Miles his own solo game and everything like that, but then having him come to this point where Peter is like, you know what, I don't need to do this anymore, man. Like I've done it all. Like, here you go, the city's yours now. I'm a little bit of a sucker for that kind of like passing down the torch kind of storyline. I would love to see a young, talented, Afro Latino kid, or if they actually do that, come into the fold and play Miles, and then pass on the torch to him, and have him and Tom Holland have this one last good moment, and he goes off and he gets the rest, I guess, and it's let the new generation take over. That'd be really cool to see.
Yeah,
I personally love that.
Because that
I
movie
feel
worked
them.
so well for Sam Wilson, Captain America.
Oh no, we're not talking
Oh,
about that. We're
man.
not talking about that. We're talking about Miles Morales. Everybody loves Miles. A lot of people don't. The Sam Wilson Cap is a very controversial character, and it's like this with a lot of people. But most will say that they love Miles. I've never met a person. I can't say I never met, but it's rare that I encounter people that don't like Miles.
But that's the Jujutsu Kaisen question. Is Miles Morales strong because he's Spider-Man, or is Spider-Man strong because it's Miles Morales?
Miles is his own guy. He doesn't even need to be either.
Is the Spider-Verse strong because of Miles Morales, or is the Spider-Verse movies strong because there's a bunch of Spider-Man in the movie?
I think it's Miles.
I think it's Miles. Yeah.
I think the Spider-Man stuff is the icing on the cake and what I like to me.
Interesting.
And again, when they bring in Miles Morales live action, I am excited for them, but I feel for them because much like X-Men, you have to follow X-Men 97. For Miles, you got to follow Into the Spider-Verse, even though they have nothing to do with each other.
But I would disagree with that. I don't think
For now.
because listen, for some people, yes, their first core introduction to Miles was
True.
through the Spider-Verse. But
True.
for me, that shit, people hated Miles. Like Matthew was saying, everybody loves Miles. No, they didn't. In the beginning, they hated it.
We're on the way out, though. We got to think about the generation. We on the way out, bro. We got to think about, because I got cousins and stuff that are much younger, and they're coming from Into the Spider-Verse. They're coming from the Insomniac games. They don't have the people that were with us when we read the original. What's his name? Ben Bendis. Bendis
really?
Brian Michael Bendis.
And the Bendis run of Michael Bendis run of Miles Morales. Yeah, you were right. People didn't really fuck with Miles like that. But
bro, they were getting death threats over Miles. That shit was. I remember those days. Those were some hard days. And then the Spider-Verse came out, and people started to genuinely accept Miles that way. But I will still argue the only reason that the Spider-Man movie sold the way it did wasn't because of Miles' story, but was because of the fact that you got an older Spider-Man. You got I won't say prime Spider-Man, but you got the white Peter Parker guiding this Spider-Man, and we were that audience was tricked into seeing an awesome origin story of Miles Morales, and then younger people would be like, oh cool, he's young, he's like me, whatever. But the older audience is like, all right, that's cool, I can vibe with this now, like that. The Spider-Verse story was a much better way of introducing Miles than it was in the comics and such. So
maybe, I think, but I'll put it to this way. Maybe, and it wasn't fully for me because I've always been interested in like what that was going to be like. Maybe the notion of so many Spider-Man and Spider-Woman in the movie probably got them to the theater.
Yeah.
But the reason why it made them stay and come back for another movie and patiently waiting for the third one and Oscar winning first film is because of Miles, and how it's the whole thing of like, I'm gonna do my own thing, and like the notion of like letting Peter B. Parker like go home and you go do it. And like, I got this one. I think I could be wrong, but I agree.
No,
I think even Bendis said, "Oh yeah, thank God for Spider-Verse," because I remember hearing the reports of death threats and all that stuff when the character was brought in.
Yeah, man.
But again, I think Sam Wilson also went through the same thing when he became Cap. And
oh yeah.
The notion that I could feel the interpretations, because I think that torch being passed in Endgame was so beautiful between Steven and Sam.
Yeah, of course.
I liked what they did with Falcon Winter Soldier. I think there was a misstep with Brave New World where it's like, all right, there was an opportunity to like go past that, which we already, I thought, acknowledged in that show, and see what it's like when he's now not just carrying the mantle, but what if he's trying to lead a team? And I think that's gonna be something for Peter to pass on to Miles. Is like, it's not only just that I'm saying goodbye to being this web slinger, it's that like I am putting responsibility on someone else of the weight of a city, 5 boroughs, but a city on him. And what is that like when the kid is younger than me, doesn't look like me, and now people are going to be looking him sideways. Potentially, I think.
I would. So here's my thing: is if the MCU was ever to introduce Miles, it's going to have to be. I still think it's going to be a consecutive. It's going to have to be consecutively still run with Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but not now. Not now. I need Tom Holland to, in my honest opinion, I feel like Tom Holland, we're talking like at least 5 to 7 years from now, maybe 10 years, when we can look at Tom Holland and be like, all right, he's an adult. He's a grown-ass man, and he can play the big brother role. At this moment in time, Tom Holland does not have the big brother role look ever. He always plays the little brother, or he's always following, like, look at Punisher and Spider-Man, right? It's like Spider-Man, yes, will indeed need to mentor a Miles Morales. But if we're gonna have that nice chemistry, yeah, I mean, and here's also the other problem. Tom Holland is not a tall guy. So that's gonna be a whole nother thing to get an Afro centric actor that's not gonna be taller than Tom Holland. So.
Mr. Miyagi wasn't tall.
Okay. And Daniel was, but Mr. Miyagi was not the main guy. You know,
I mean, but he was still the mentor, you know. And
yeah,
I mean,
so was Yoda, but
but I agree with your point, though. I think he has to just at least look older. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think the height thing is negligible. You know, I feel like him looking older and feeling older is probably more important.
I agree.
You need to sell. Sell that feeling of like he's matured enough now.
He's got to get his shit together.
Yeah. I don't think the character is at a point where he has his shit together. So
I personally, in a perfect world, they should make Amazing Spider-Man 3 and let Andrew Garfield mentor a Miles Morales. Like, I feel like Andrew was born for that role already. Like the way, and I feel like they've already dropped enough hints with Electro from that world saying that I thought you were going to be black, and Andrew Garfield apologizes for it. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, I'm not black.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Sorry.
You know, you're from Brooklyn. Like, I feel like all the seeds are there. I just wish Marvel and Disney would work this contract out, because they're just so afraid of doing too many Spider-Man movies. But if anything, I feel the Spider-Verse has proved that you can never have enough Spider-Man movies, and the audience themselves will not be confused. They'll be like, okay, cool, this is a Spider-Man from another dimension, whatever. Let's take time to introduce Miles Morales into the Sony world, and after Secret Wars or whatever, we can have Spider-Man take over. I don't think Tom Holland should give up being Spider-Man anytime soon. But I also feel like we can safely introduce Miles Morales in a separate universe and have him do his own thing over there like that. No, not, you're not feeling that. I personally feel like a Miles Morales in Andrew Garfield's universe would do exceedingly well.
I just feel, because we're so like, what they've been telling us at the end of the multiverse saga, they're like, I feel like messing with that will be like reopening the can of quote unquote worms, and I feel like we would get it, but general audience and how they've been handling the multiverse, I don't know how they would handle it if post Secret Wars, that it's still a thing, or that it's all centered into one universe and one
sure
one Earth. So
sure,
again, that could be wrong. I know I trust us all hero geeks to get it, because we live with these characters, but general audiences and the way they are these days, it is a damn coin toss, and you don't know if they're gonna get it, or they're gonna be more confused.
That was the big thing you brought up right there, which is I think the most important thing too about it all, because Kevin Feige did say we're trying to consolidate this.
Oh,
right?
really? Okay.
Yeah, no, they made statements that, you know, especially hinting that they're trying to move away from this multiverse thing with trying to have too many different worlds. There's going to be less Everything's gonna be contained in one single universe. That's the intention that is being made to us right now. So yeah, it would be it would mess things up to kind of do all of that
I
and
feel,
tie it into the
yeah.
core MCU, especially with the direction they're trying to go into. So that's a big thing Ronan mentioned. That's like one of the major things they're trying to do.
Okay,
Going forward.
riddle me. Okay, let me put it a different way because I'm still in this one from DC. Sometime during Secret Wars or something, we get Andrew Garfield coming back. We get Andrew Garfield coming back. We get Toby coming back. They have a little moment, and then one of the Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, whatever, the older dudes, they introduce Miles to Tom Holland Spider-Man for a little moment. And they're just like, hey, here's somebody I've been mentoring. It's gonna feel a little shitty, like not, a little forced, but hey, here's somebody I've been mentoring for a bit, and they're like, oh, cool, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. End of Secret Wars when everything's fused together. Boom. Then we have our Miles in the MCU then.
I
Okay,
thing.
I'll see myself out. Sorry, I'm
No.
not getting that Marvel check. Okay.
No. It's interesting because I feel like if they would do that, I would be interested to see how it would work out. But I know instantly people would be like, wait a minute. What about the Miles that was teased in Homecoming? that his uncle said that he
Oh,
was, so like I know instantly if we did that, people would be like, wait a minute. What about the original plan for Miles?
but that was just but that we never that was never look. The Prowler had a nephew. That's it. We don't. He never said it was Miles. All that, That's us filling in the blanks.
True, very true.
Yeah, just like the kid in Iron Man 2 later reconned to be Peter
That
Parker.
Peter,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like okay, whatever.
Yeah. I think where we're at right now, where we really do need to get away, as much as we all said here, we all would get it. Like we've been in this Marvel game since forever, right? So it's like us, we understand if they were to mess around with the multiverse bullshit, we're not gonna like blink too much about it, right? Like we're gonna get it, we're gonna know. But like with the way, again, Ronan kind of hit it on the head, the way things are right now with these current generations of new Marvel fans, it's gonna be really messy. And it's going to be, unfortunately, like I hate to say it, a lot of people don't really like to think. They don't like to really do the quote unquote homework. And honestly, sometimes you shouldn't have to really do the homework. But one can argue that the homework isn't necessary. But at the same time, people don't want to do that. People are on TikTok, Reels. They don't have time for that. They just want to sit down, watch linear films, and kind of understand. So I think it would be cool. I like the idea to have him be trained by Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. That would be really, really sick, especially in his universe. It's very dark. A lot of crazy stuff can happen there. But and especially the things he's been through, taking a life and all of that too, which was hinted to us in No Way Home, really gritty stuff, right? So that would be really awesome. But I think I don't know. I don't really trust a lot of people to really be okay with the way with that going forward. I think, like I said, Ronan, I think you really kind of hit it on the head with that. I think it'll be pretty messy.
I think 5 years ago, Oculus and Notion would have been way more believable. And I've been like, roll the dice. Let's see what we got. We accomplished Endgame. We accomplished Thanos. Roll the dice. See
No
how
Way
that plays
Home.
out.
Like I still to this day, I still think they should have let Tom Holland and Zendaya take their break after No Way Home and make a separate Spider-Man movie, and then we come back to see where it would have been a little bit easier. But yeah, I don't know, man. Sony and Marvel just hate money. Like I don't know.
That's how I feel about the Avengers right now. Where like I really wish that the not the new Avengers Thunderbolts, but whatever's left of Sam Wilson's led Avengers, I wish they would have had a movie before Doomsday because it would have given them a chance to like get their feet wet before being thrown. Like you gotta face the whole multiverse now.
Man,
on your
don't
first
get me started on that Sam Wilson Captain America stuff, right?
I think Marvel, everybody just hit the Marvel, Sony, everybody just they're hitting the panic button. Much like Warner Brothers as well. It's like they're like, I would honestly say that Spider-Man Brand New Day, the money it made is kind of a fluke. But because of the fact that people are just missing a good movie, a good comic movie as well. Spider-Man was kind of guaranteed to make money. For a story, I don't think that was very good. Uh, but I think all the companies are just panicking right now, because nothing has actually been selling well post Endgame. So you know, uh, it is what it is, I guess. I guess it could be worse. We could have still had the Sony universe, I guess. So,
Oh, you want another villain-led movie?
Well, you didn't like Morbius, bro? Come on.
You
I
wanna
didn't
be
even
Kraven
you know,
again?
let me put it this way. I didn't even watch Morbius. I didn't watch Morbius. I didn't watch Venom 3. That's
neither.
how uninterested.
I didn't watch Venom
Right?
3 either. I
Yeah,
didn't watch it either.
That's how uninterested I've been in most of these spin-off movies. Anything Sony, I was like, I'm passing on that. I sleep like that. I haven't watched One More Kill. I didn't finish Daredevil season 2. I never watched Born Again season 2. I didn't watch Wonder Man. There's so many
Oh, so
things.
good.
There's so many things that I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
you
I'm
didn't
gonna
watch
pass
Wonder
on all
Man.
this right now. Yeah.
You say,
Wonder Man
you,
is so
wait, you
good,
say you
man.
didn't watch Wonder Man?
Yeah, I didn't watch Wonder Man.
Oh man, it's disappointing. I know we're trying not to talk too much about that whole thing now, but like Wonder Man, oh man, it's such a disappointment. Because Ronan, you've seen it, right?
I love it.
Oh man, it's such a disappointment because I saw one of your people in the comments, Akasan talk about it, that they're letting down a lot of Black heroes since Chadwick. It's I don't know. Wonder Man was so wonderfully written, and it's ironic because
surprise.
the things that happened in that show, and the things that happened in that show, it's actually such an irony to how what happened in real life. It's literally just a parallel. It's copying
And
each
it
other.
feels like a
exactly what
Marvel
happened.
comic. It felt like a
it
Marvel
really-
comic.
Yeah,
of like,
Wonder
Yeah,
Man is
dude.
heavily slept on. Heavily
Yeah.
slept on.
yeah, like again, like
Yeah, I mean,
post-
I heard good things about it, but it's just the timing of it all.
They didn't promote it.
Yeah, that, and it's just like when it comes out, like I can only really pick, like, at this point in my life, I can only pick one show to react to at this point. And when it comes to editing and all that, so I made my choice with House of the Dragon, and that's I'm
you
fighting
made- you
through
made-
it like
You
that.
I
made-
put
you
it
made the-
down.
You made the better choice.
Yeah,
I had to let House of the Dragon go, not because I didn't like the first few episodes. I really dug it, but I was like, X-Men 97 and Cape Crusader are the things I want to watch.
and
right
I
now.
understand
two-
that as well. Yeah.
And two other anime shows. I'm like, I just
Mhm.
can't do it all.
Yeah,
sadly.
no, I get it. So, all right, let's curve all this here. So with Spider-Man, brand new day. I think we're generally on the same page. You guys enjoyed it.
Yes.
You understand the critiques and agree with some of the critiques, but overall, it was a good movie that you would see. Would you say it was the best Spider-Man movie still at this point?
It's gonna take live action a long time to get past Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, not
and
counting Spider-Verse.
Not counting
yes.
those.
Oh, just
Um,
live action.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because I do put this above the Amazing Ones.
Okay.
I don't know if I put it above Spider-Man 2. It's to me, well, put it to it. Live action wise, the first three that I think of, if you were to ask me, like, all right, what would you put on your Blu-ray collection or rewatch? I'd be like Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, and this one.
Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, and then Brand New Day. Okay.
Yeah, these would be the three that we
Your
rewatch.
favorite
Yeah, for me.
your favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man movie?
I don't know.
That's a
Maybe
no.
my
then.
favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
man.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew, how about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna like admittedly just take the nostalgia chips because I don't give a fuck. But for me, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films will always be my favorite Spider-Man films. I don't
get it.
care. Because we're not talking about Into the Spider-Verse. If we're including that, then it's a different conversation. But we're not talking about that. So, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. But in terms of the second part of that question for Holland films, I said it earlier, but I think at least as of right now, this opinion can change obviously with more rewatches and time. But as of right now, I think Brand New Day is the best Holland film. Holland film. for now.
Nice. Okay, fair. For me, I would say Spider-Man. I would say Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Not everything, but and that's the thing. But I feel like the web slinging, the aesthetic, everything. Spider-Man catching a goddamn cop car, not chucking it. Spider-Man 2, I think, just nailed so many things that I know of as my Spidey. Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire just had the perfect writing for everybody. Like they took that scene of Spider-Man quitting and like, fuck this shit, threw that shit in the trash and walked away. Like they nailed that so well. And then they reinvented Dr. Octopus into one of the best written Spider-Man villains ever. Like nobody gave a shit about Dr. Octopus until that movie. So all that being said, and then No Way Home, I think probably is up there. Now in terms of Tom Holland movies, no. Brand New Day is not up there yet. And I still think No Way Home is still the better Tom Holland movie because in Tom Holland's universe, the work from Happy, May, even J. Jonah Jameson, even though that kind of sort of counts, the fallout of everything, the writing in there is just perfect. And it was essentially Peter Parker making the biggest sacrifice and biggest choice of making real adult moves in No Way Home, and making that choice to sacrifice his happiness for the safety of his friends, where I feel Brand New Day sort of skipped a lot of and it's kind of trying to have their cake and eat it too, and the writing wasn't as strong on that side. So yeah.
Is it the best Spider-Man thing of the year thus far? Because I think I prefer Spider-Noir thus far.
Wait, what?
Is it the best Spider-Man thing thus far of the year? Because we got Spider-Noir and we got
Noir. Noir
I
was
haven't-
so good, bro.
I haven't
Noir
seen.
was so
I have
good.
not seen Noir either. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
They filmed that thing in authentic black and white.
I know,
Like,
I know.
dude.
Did the
That
coloring
was-
after.
They
was
were
just-
singing to me. I was
I
like,
know.
oh, this is
Man, I was so mad nobody was talking about Noir, man. I was kind of mad about that. That show.
But
Oh yeah.
this is
yeah.
the biggest problem with all these a la carte companies need to stop doing. Like HBO gets it. They're like, yeah, we're not dropping all of House of the Dragon in one sitting. But I don't know why Amazon Prime occasionally gets this with their animated titles, but you can't drop a whole damn show in one sitting because ain't nobody has time for that if they're not like already gung-ho and crazy about it. Like this ain't Stranger Things, man. Like, and even then that's kind of not good. So yeah, they dropped it and I was like, I gotta watch it, but I just don't have time because there's other stuff out right now. So yeah. Now at this point, I guess I can comfortably just sit binge watch it and that's fine, but I am looking forward to it. Yeah. So I don't know.
It is
I'm gonna be
worth
so
watching.
real. I reacted to certain things. Noir and Wonder Man, those are just off camera watches, man. I just literally sat there and just watched it. Right? I did not care about views or money. So
As it should, yeah.
I just sat there and watched it, and I enjoyed it
I get
off
it.
camera. It was a ton of fun.
But then the
I
big-
definitely think you should watch it.
But then that's the
Yeah.
biggest problem sometimes is like my biggest fear is like I'll just be watching something and I'll start crying and I'll be like, oh
Yeah.
fuck. And then I'm like, fuck, I should have recorded that.
yeah. Yep.
That-
The
but
wall was
then-
under, like,
But that's a double-edged sword because it's a whole different thing just laying on your couch side, like just chilling, your mind is at rest, opposed to camera, lighting here, and you're like, okay, it's let's react time. Come on, give me something that's reactionable, and then it kind of changes the whole mood of the show at that point, you know. So
Yeah.
because I'm thinking more now about, oh, I need to be entertaining now, and I need to give commentary to something. So it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, people don't
you said
understand
it
there is
best,
a
man.
difference. Yeah.
There's a
King
huge
Crusader
difference.
right now is suffering through that. Right now, barely people are anybody covering it. I'm doing my best to like put it out before the first 2 weeks are out. And
Which
it's like
one?
I had that with Cape Crusader season 2. Like,
Oh Jesus, yeah, that show. Yeah.
again, it's out right now, and like you would think a show like that would come out weekly, and that was one thing that for Noir that although I saw all of it, people were asking what happened to Noir, and I'm like, guys, I can't edit an hour episode all the time and then get hit by a copyright because Prime Video doesn't want to play ball, and then it's like it's the same thing right now with Keep Crusader that I'm so behind.
No,
on,
we all have gone about that. We all have felt that, and actually, we'll get into that in a second. Hold on, somebody donated, but get your ass off Nikkei. You know what? Listen, ironically, if you guys aren't familiar, Nikkei, Goddess of Victory. Ironically,
I play.
Hey, the story that they run, my nigga. The story that they ran during the same week as Brand New Day is actually fairly ironic. The whole thing that MJ is going through, there was a character in Nikkei saying the same situation about this whole idea of like, so if I can, long story short, guys, women have been turned into cyborg killing machines like Terminators, and those are the Nikkeis, right? But they all volunteer. But when you and it's kind of like the Odyssey, or like the ship of Theseus, actually. Their brain is implanted into a cyborg body, but the argument is that the same person anymore? Or is it when they become Nikkeis, are they actually someone different? It's like Vision and White Vision, right? Right. Like that. And so there was a whole argument about that, and it was a deep storyline about these some of the main characters in Nikkei. So when I saw Brand New Day, I was like, damn. All right. Is that how the Flash made you feel? Yeah, depressing, right? And then okay, for 10 GBP, what is that? It's like GBT?
I have no idea.
Grand British Pounds? Global? All right, well, thank you, Team Drinker Guy. I always said Andrew villains were more like the Ultimate Universe versions. They should make Amazing Spider-Man 3, and Peter sets Miles up throughout the movie. Spider-Man 4 should be old Toby with Mayday. Dang, actually, that's okay. Where I agree with this thought process, but what I will say is that they might as well just do that with Secret Wars instead. I actually like that idea of like including just a brief Spider-Verse moment in Secret Wars, and it's a whole lounge of spider type people, and Tobey Maguire introduces Mayday, and Andrew Garfield introduces Miles Morales. I feel that'd be dope. And even fuck it, put in Venom in there somewhere, right? Yeah. So that being said, all right, now I want to let's start curving this in here. So you guys for those of you guys that don't know, both of these two gentlemen are reactors. They've been reactors for quite some time now. Matthew longer. I'm cooking too much for Marvel. I know. Give me that payday, man. Like Kevin Feige, cut the check. God damn it. Yeah, Kevin. Kevin Feige is somewhere right there, right now, looking at our stream. He's like, "Oh shit, hold on. Let him cook. And, all right, guys, how's the reactor world been doing for you guys? I know, Matthew, this shit had been hard because you've been in the game for over 10 years now, right? Like, yeah. Yeah, I remember, and you were mentioning that a few times, and it's hard because, we obviously are not on that super level where that shit just takes care of all of our bills. And then the interesting thing is that our fans, we have supporters, we have fans, but well, the Red Dread Nation, they know I bitch and complain about it all the time, but the general audience doesn't realize just how intrusive this kind of dual life is. When I remember watching No Way Home, and that's one of the things, maybe that's one of the reasons that those type of Spider-Man movies match with me so well, because it's a balancing act, becoming Spider-Man and Peter. And Doctor Strange was like, the problem isn't because your secret identity got leaked. The problem is you're trying to lead two lives and you can't, like that. And I'm like, oh shit, niggas talking to me. am I Akasan or am I just this dude living in Japan, right? I'm both, right? But it doesn't wrap up cleanly like that in the movies, right? Duality is a big issue. How's the reactor life for you guys recently? What are you working on? What do you hope you can work on more? What are your dreams and aspirations, etc.?
Matthew?
Oh yeah, I don't mind going first. I think for me, because I've been through a really crazy patch, like on the channel, just because I was going through a lot of like IRL stuff that was just really tough. And in this game, like you stop posting for any amount of time, you're kind of starting over again.
Yeah, people thought I was dead, actually.
Yeah, you get no, seriously, people do think that. I people
Yeah.
go, messaging me on Instagram and different social medias and stuff, but also some other fellow content creators, other reactors in the space, also reaching out to me, trying to see, like even Ronan too reached out to me a couple times within the last year or two, just to see if I was all right, which I did. I do appreciate Ronan. I never got a chance to say I appreciated that, but
So good.
after that, I decided to come back and like just really like lock in essentially. So now I'm just enjoying myself with the things. Before, I felt there was always a need to just do everything and be everywhere and go to this screener and then do that, because I started getting into the critic scene as well, and the reviewing scene, going to screeners, joining a critics group, all that stuff. And after a while, it gets too much. So I think now I'm just focusing on just enjoying myself, man. I'm enjoying myself with 97. I'm having a lot of fun with 97 right now, and gonna be doing some more animes and stuff, getting into some different animes on the channel. And it's always that challenge of copyright and post production, and it's always the most annoying part of the whole business. But yeah, I'm just trying to focus on having fun again. Right now, thankfully, I'm enjoying 97. That the X-Men community, at least on my channel. Those guys have been really cool people, really patient people, really supportive people. I'm just having a good time with that.
Good, real good. Ronan,
yeah,
you've been more of a facilitator, if anything, over the last couple of years. I've noticed.
it's weird because I started
Akasan's
10
Ghost
years ago.
manages YouTube. What the fuck? Sorry.
No, you're
Go ahead.
good.
As you say, yeah.
No, I started 10 years ago, almost on a lark. I'm like, all right, well, I'm watching these guys do it. I want to be part of this community. I'm like, all right, I'll start doing it. And then I remember I was doing stuff, and at the time, it was very, very amateur stuff. Like I don't do it regularly, but when I do see something pop up from like the early years, I was like, what was I doing with the thumbnail and the editing and whatnot? And um, eventually, for after a while, I did stop, which I think that did hurt the growth of the channel. But I was like, no, even because I've seen how people like it can get a lot to them, and it'll just dry them out and whatnot. I'm like, no, let me just try this for a while, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So did college for a little bit, and I still want to do college, but I was like, you know what, let me try this right now and see if I can continue going. So for a few years now, I've been consistently just going at it, doing group reactions with others. Obviously, hanging out with Sam from Team GVS and Busy. Um, Past few years, I've been getting tighter with folks like Chainsaw Reacts, Lance Geek Drums, Dance, and Darren, who are right now in the conversation. So, like, I've been just hanging out with other groups and whatnot. And recently, it's been going in and like when I do, because I do San Diego Comic Con each year now for almost a decade now. That like just networking. That way, something can pull me back to LA and do work. That way this is more consistent, and not because I want to be famous and want to do this. I want to be able to do something that I would happily wake up with an alarm clock, and I know it'll pay something off. And unfortunately, I haven't gotten the full-time job just because I don't know if you heard, but in the US, the economy is so fucking bad right now. But
Oh, really?
yeah,
You don't say.
People thought it was a
First
rumor. I was
time?
like, "Yeah." No, it's not
Join
a
the
rumor,
club
y'all.
over here, dying in. Yeah.
It's not a rumor, yeah. And so I'm just trying to do my best right now to handle, real life stuff, bills and whatnot, and still be able to do this. And luckily, there are stuff like X97, like Matthew was saying, that there's stuff like, regardless how people feel about it, I am still a Star Wars hardcore fan. But even then, right
Mm.
now, in a few hours the spinoff of Star Wars Visions 19 is dropping, and I don't know how I'm going to cover that, if I'm even going to be able to cover that. So I'm doing now trying to do something where I know I'm editing and putting up a lot, but I don't want to get burnt out, because as soon as I burn out, I know it'll start affecting everything else. And luckily, something that's helped out a lot is just doing weekly live streams and podcasts with other groups. So like whether it be Chainsaw or Lance or Darren and whatnot. So like when you messaged me, I was like, fuck yeah. It's been a while since you had done it, especially on YouTube. And I was like, I am not missing this out. There's no fucking way I'm missing out. And
I said
yeah,
a
man, just
raven.
trying to,
Yeah.
yeah, and like again, like when you do these events, like go to concert screenings, and you meet up with others who do this as well, it does help. Not rejuvenate, but just be like, oh yeah, we're into this. We got into this first as fans, and we're also trying to see if we can make a living out of it. And so
Hmm.
that's where I'm at now. And hopefully, in the next few months, years, I can make it something where it's more regular, and it'll pay off financially better. More, I think.
Do you guys feel like the success of comic book movies dictate your success or enjoyment of being YouTuber reactors? Because like, for example, like I feel like the fandom hasn't really been alive since Endgame, honestly speaking. You know, my videos and my views are honestly dictated generally not by what I'm reacting to, or not the way I'm reacting to something, but more about how popular something is. So my views have not been as strong as they were 10 years ago, but also the content hasn't been as exciting as it once was. But one thing remains consistent is Spider-Man and Batman and Avengers always do numbers on my channel, and that's why I keep coming
can
back.
agree. I can agree with that, because the Doomsday trailer, that was like the biggest spike I've had on the channel in like a couple months, really. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like the obvious answer is yes. You know, when the community is not enjoying themselves and there's no good content, or the community is not excited, they don't want to go and see more of something they're not having a good time with. You know, that's
Facts.
just the reality, right? But I don't know if that personally, I would say it used to dictate me, especially during like the peak of my channel during Flash days and stuff like that, when the CW Flash and stuff, it used to dictate a lot of my decision making. But now I don't think so more. I don't think much now, really. I think for me personally, at least, the reality to, okay, I'm gonna get into the whole thing, but to answer your question, yes, the reality is yes. If the fandom is not exciting, it does affect views. That is just the absolute truth. But for me, I try not to let that affect my decision making now. If I know at the end of the day, if I'm not enjoying what I'm watching, it doesn't matter if it's popular or not. People are not going to care
Facts.
about watching me just staring at the screen, not having a good time. It's not fun. Like, I don't watch videos like that. So why would somebody watch a video of me just sitting there and just not enjoying myself? So I don't care if at this point, listen, man, I don't know if it's going to get me a couple thousand views and it's not really much, but I'm enjoying myself. At the end of the day, I'd rather just live knowing that I just had a good time.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Like, facts.
I think for me, it probably would be no, just because I see how so much is being said and put out because of the Odyssey, because of films like Obsession, that I'm glad that it's not just all Marvel or DC for me. And it's one of the reasons why I never chose to start a Star Wars channel or a Marvel channel or a DC channel. And although people have told me you should do that, the metrics, that the algorithm will go so much better. I'm like, true, but I don't want people just thinking I'm just a Marvel guy or a DC guy or a Star Wars guy. Those things are big parts of my DNA foundationally, but
He's a
they're not
messy
all of me.
guy.
I am no, but here's the thing. On the lark, when the World Cup started, I decided to do like these shorts and TikToks of me going to McDonald's and getting these collectible cups, and people watched them. I was like, what? And so I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll keep doing this for a little while. And I was like, huh, there's something you could do it with soccer, with football, that I could do maybe eventually down the line, or traveling. Some of my traveling stuff doesn't do good, but I love traveling so much that I'm like, you know what? As long as I don't miss couple days or weeks, if you will, of putting stuff, I'll have something on the line. That way, but if you want to look at what Ronan Unchained is, he's a Star Wars fan. He loves traveling, and he's into this stuff. There is something Criterion Collection I want to do so bad, a video I want to do so bad. I'm just waiting for the right time to do it, and those sort of ideas and projects help me keep going and covering this stuff. But I might not be able to cover all of it. I know that my views won't do as big as a lot of the big channels, but I'm making it. I'm putting out a way that even with thumbnails, with my editing, and when I choose to talk to people about it, that like hopefully it shines a uniqueness to me when I'm brought up in any of these discussions, especially
Yeah.
with how the amount of volume there is on YouTube. Like again, for people watching this, 10 years ago, it was a whole different world. And I envy those who started before me. You know, and so like I don't.
Why is
think
everybody
it
looking
takes
at
from
me? What the? Oh, okay.
I'm not looking at you. I did not.
Old
not
man
doing that.
Akasan, and you could have it all. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
But again, I'm looking right now to do stuff that isn't just the mainstream things. Like one of the best things that happened to my channel was I covered Shogun and The Last of Us, and I'm so grateful that I did. And it also shows that like, oh, I also, I could take a break a little bit from doing Star Wars or Marvel and just do this stuff, and we could do unique conversation. I think it helps pop culture stay relevant without just the usual suspects to be brought up in lineups and roundtables. I think.
You
Can
guys,
I add to that, Ronan?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Oxen.
No, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I was gonna say a couple to just do to your point about doing random stuff. It's funny you mentioned that because like a couple years ago, I did a little experiment on TikTok, just a little short experiment, and I was like, I never really listened to Taylor Swift, and I was like, here's this black guy that doesn't really listen to Taylor Swift or doesn't know anything about it. I don't know anything about her. I said, you know what? Let me actually like sit down and listen to all of her music, and then just go on TikTok and just review all the songs. And for some reason, out of nowhere, randomly, just at least during that small period of time, my TikTok was just blowing up. People were just interested in seeing me, this black dude just listen to Taylor Swift and talk about it. And so yeah, I had a similar moment too, where I'm like, you know what? I don't always just have to do Marvel. I don't always just have to do comic book and nerdy stuff as much as I love that. I can just kind of dip my toes into any other thing if I want to. So at that time, that just gave me the idea like, okay, cool. So if I ever want to go try something else and do something else there, I'm not just stuck. I'm not a prison to this. So yeah, I just wanted to add to that, me having a very similar experience to you, especially with like your soccer stuff with the cups.
Have you
That's
guys
why-
gotten
that's why-
recognized publicly?
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
Really, Ronan? I'm surprised, actually.
I don't
Comic-Con,
think so.
no?
Well, put it this way: someone that I may or may not still work with at one point said, "You should up on my TikTok feed," and I was so like both excited, but I didn't want. It was my own Peter Parker moment. I was like, no, dude, I don't do TikTok. Some guy probably looks like just like me, but there was this one person that did like notice my stuff from TikTok, and some people that I grew up, they know that I do social media here and there, but no, not on Comic Cons and whatnot. Again,
I'm surprised.
I'm-
Yeah.
I'm hoping that with more networking stuff that does happen, not because my own vanity, but because if they do that, that means later down the line, Kevin Feige or Dave.
Oh
Filoni,
God!
"Hey,
Oh God!
man,
Oh, here we go. the
Yeah.
real reason. Oh, notice me, senpai.
No,
Like that.
and then not even just for that, but be like, hey man, yeah, I would love to cover this. Fly me out to Comic Con and pay for
Just
my expensive ass
opportunities.
hotel. I tell people I would do this if I wasn't getting paid, but I also live in the real world. Hotels and traveling is not cheap. So if these companies want to pay me to go cover this stuff, I'm gonna be as brutally honest. I will. But if they want to pay me to cover stuff, you kidding me?
You know the
You want me to go
biggest.
spend a weekend at the Lucas Museum? I will happily do so. But you better make sure like I'm not paying 3 figures for this stuff, which is
I see.
it is with the world we live in.
I see. Yeah, and I will agree. Sometimes that does irk me a lot. When I see like they'll remain nameless, but I see a lot of people with some very weird takes that they do just for engagement or whatever on Twitter, but they're invited to every Marvel premiere, and I'm
What are you talking
just
about?
like, yo, but you really shit on everything they do, but yet you keep on getting invited. I'm not saying they need to like suck up, but I'm also like, yo, let's keep it real here. Like, at least Greg, Real Rejects, there's they'll be as honest as possible as they can, and they're continually invited to stuff. But there's some people sometimes I'm just like, all right, I guess you're just in that circle, right? And I'm yes, Matthew.
So no, I just had a moment. Wait, were you at New York Comic Con a few years ago?
Me?
Pre-COVID? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Bro, I could swear we met each other there and took a photo. I could swear that I can go on my Instagram right now and there's a photo of us.
Because
because like I was thinking about your question about like have people ever recognized me? So one, yes, people have recognized me, and I don't really go out much I don't go out much anymore. But when I, especially at conventions at a couple years ago, pre-COVID, New York Comic Con, I definitely ran into quite a few supporters, and I was really happy to see them. They were happy to see me. What was funny because at that time, I used to do a lot of reactions with my mother. We did a lot of reactions.
I remember that.
Flash. And so people recognized my mom in like a Walmart and stuff, and they're like, wait a minute, are you that lady that reacts to their son? And I'm like, my mom's calling me and she's telling me that people are like recognizing her in the Walmarts and shit. And I'm like, yeah. So people recognize my mom more, but yeah,
that's
I
crazy.
could have sworn we met each other in person a few years ago.
We might have.
Tripping?
Yeah. I mean, I went to New York Comic Con 2 times before COVID. I think, was that Sam or somebody else? Somebody, one of the two, Sam, JVS, they got me into this press screening or what. Like I was in like the green room or whatever, because I was doing stuff for Warner Brothers at that time. But then I ran into Dave the Suicide Squad guy, Polka Dot Man.
David the Small Chin, yes.
Yeah, he saw me and he was like, hey, I think I fucking know you, bro. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, oh, shit, it's that guy from The Dark Knight. And he's like, yeah. So I asked him if I could just do an interview real quick. And he's like, yeah, no problem. So I interviewed him for my channel, but that was out of nowhere. Ray Fisher, I met in Japan, actually. And that was scary as fuck because I met, right before that, I met Jason Momoa. And he was looking me up and down like Khal Drogo, like he was gonna kill me or whatever. But he's a cool dude, whatever. But then Ray Fisher was walking to his car, and he looked at me. He was like, "Hey man, I know you. And I'm like, "Oh fuck, what? You know me?" He's like, "Yeah, I know you. I've seen your YouTube channel." And I'm like, "Oh fuck." Because that was a dark time in terms of the Snyderverse and such.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, man, I know you. I've seen your videos. You do good work, man. Keep it up. And he shook his hand, put his hand out to shake my hand. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then all the Japanese people were like, oh my God, a black person acknowledging another black person like that. How did they know this guy? But then my friends, they were like, oh, he's a big ass YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And so I gave him a copy of My Hero Academia manga, and yeah, it was cool. It was a nice little time to meet him. So yeah, still waiting on that Zack Snyder interview with Akasan. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I don't know about that. But I will say, probably the thing that I will never let down, it's crazy, is the time where Tyrone Magnus went to Los Angeles for one of the first times he went to Los Angeles, and he's walking down the street with Ryan, at the time Ryan Wright, now Greg Alba. They're just walking and they're chilling, and they're around Burbank area, and a car pulls up on them, and then some white boy comes out of the fucking van, and he's like, oh, hello, oh, you're Tyrone Magnus. And he's like, Yeah. He's like, oh shit, I watch you all the time. And he's like, hey, can we take a picture together? And he's like, my name's Tom. And he's like, oh, and then Greg is like, bro, that's fucking Tom Holland. And Tyrone didn't
remember
know
this
who he
story.
was. Like,
I
because this is before Civil War. This is before Civil War. And he's like, yeah, can I take a picture with you? And he's like, yeah, sure, man. All right. And they take a photo. And then he's like, yeah, I'm Tom Holland. I'm going to be Spider-Man in the next movie or something like that. Or I don't even know if he gave him all that, but he was just like, I'm Tom Holland. I'm an actor or something like that. And he drove off and Greg was just like, holy fuck, dude, that's the next Spider-Man. And like, you see that photo of them, Tom is super skinny and everything, dude. It was some crazy shit. So I'm very envious because I really wish that was me. I met Christopher Nolan one time in Tokyo as well, but it was very brief, and I don't know if he knew me or not, so whatever. So
You got to meet him, dude.
My Jason Momoa moment was at New York Comic Con. We were like, I was just standing somewhere. I don't know who I don't know what exactly was happening. It's just New York Comic Con, right? And he walks out from the curtains and he just with music. This guy has a boombox just playing, just music. Literally, I'm not kidding. He looks at me and goes, ah, like in my face. And he just keeps walking. And I'm sitting there like, Jason Momoa.
I thought he was a WWE intro and shit, bro. Like Oba Fetty and shit. Like, yeah.
I think he was walking to stage or something like that, but it wasn't like that was just his everyday normal thing. That
That's so funny.
Like he's
dude.
just walking with the dude blasting he's blasting I think Typo Negative or something. And the dude comes like, ah. I'm like,
that's fucking
right.
funny, dude. Oh,
that was the
bro.
only experience I ever had.
Holy
with him
shit.
like that, but yeah, dude.
That is wild. Yeah, right now I'm in my old man Aka arc at this point because now it's less of people like it's becoming less and less of people just like, oh shit, I watch you all the time or whatever, or I watch your channel. I still get those a lot, but especially when I'm in Shibuya, people recognize me a lot more. But they always come up to me with their iPhone and show me my channel, and they're like, "Is this you?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't look that old, do I?" Like whatever. But when yeah, like it happened literally 2 weeks ago. Somebody was like, "Hey, this is you. You're Aka, right?" Like that. And then but usually when I go to the military bases in Yokosuka, that's where I get it the most because that's like the most American things can get most of the time. But a lot of European people will come up to me in like the touristy area, but generally it's the military type people, the Steve Rogers and shit. They're coming up super built, and then they just they turn into that 16-year-old again, or 17-year-old again, a 13-year-old again. They're like, oh shit, YouTube. They don't remember Akasan. They just know YouTube. And they're like, oh shit, Redman, bro, I used to watch you all the time. It's always, I used to watch you all the time. Yeah. And it's like, and I still appreciate it. It's like mad love. Like, bro, let me get a flicky. And I'm just like, a what? A picture. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then my wife is like a few rows down and she's like, here we go again. And it's usually black people too in the military. I resound very well with black people in the military for whatever, but there's like, oh snap, I knew it was you, son. Shit, let's take a photo. Like that. And I'm like, cool, man. And it's good, man. It's good. I appreciate the influence that I had back in the days, and hopefully it'll keep going. We'll see, but
I mean,
we ain't doing that with House of the Dragon, so yeah.
I'll say this, man. Look at me, like, I've told this before, and I'll tell you again. The reason why I'm still doing this and why I started this because I saw Adam Lavick, I saw you, I saw the other guys, and like y'all still doing it, and like part of the reason why I'm still doing it. Like, one day I just want to be able to be at a big meetup or where I see all of y'all that I watched, and I'm there, and I'm like, all right. This is a good day.
Probably the
like
funeral for
No funeral, but like a good guy. Like I've told Akasan before, like you have no idea how much it was a big deal for me to see you and Adam Lavick together. You have no idea like how big deal it was for me to see him interview Blind Wave and all that stuff. Like it's people now who watch this now, they don't realize what it was like when these worlds would collide. It was before Infinity War, before Endgame, before we get Secret Wars. Like this is the closest we got to it when it came to YouTube, and I hold those days with
Facts.
high glory.
I appreciate that.
You're not the only one, man. Because I believe it or not, I had just got out of high school. Son. I had just got out of high school when I was watching you, man. Before I even did any of this myself. Before I even got into any of this myself, it was you, it was Tyrone, it was all of them. When he went by Ryan Wright at the time, all of that, all of those, all the greats, man. And I always watch you guys, and then and then now here I am doing this stuff with you guys too. But I'm also kind of sort of experiencing that because I had someone in my comments recently came up to me and he was like, "Man, it's so good to see you still doing this, man. I used to watch you when I was in middle school. Now I just graduated college," and I'm like, "Huh?" I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, you just graduated college, like since middle school. So
Yep.
yeah, no, but I used to watch you like literally. I just graduated high school, man. It was like Civil War had just came out the year after. It was man.
So
it was
it all comes full circle. This is what I'm talking about. That's why I really appreciate the Big Brother aspect of Spider-Man, Peter Parker with Miles Morales, because that's kind of like I want to grow with Spider-Man. I want to grow. I want to grow with Peter. I want to see him go through all his different phases like that. And so that time cut, a jump sort of robbed me of some of that. On top of that, but Insomniac Spider-Man was one of the best introductions of Miles Morales because they had the Big Brother program. I was part of the Big Brother program as a little brother, and then now I've become like that mentor to other people, so I really would like to see that aspect of Big Brother little brother sort of thing with the two Spider-Men as well. So yeah, making Akasan's head bigger. My head can't get any bigger, Negan. Shut up. Yeah. So Matthew, did you post, or are they just saying Matthew pick with Alaska Sun is posted NYC 2018. Pharaoh 2700 said it, Matthew. I don't know if that means anything.
Wait. Where was did you find the picture?
Yeah.
Did he find the
picture?
He
said Matthew pick with Alaska is posted New York Comic-Con 2018. Yeah.
Wait, where did you find it? I was actually scrolling through on my Instagram to see.
Yeah, please find.
Where did he find it? But yeah, I knew we encountered each other some years ago, man. So I was sitting here thinking, like, wait,
famous son, stop, y'all. Imagine having this moment and then going back to Nikkei streams. Listen, I have a whole nother world people don't know of. Listen, like when I went to go see Mike.
Why y'all talking about Nikkei like that, bro?
I know, right? These motherfuckers getting on my ass about that. Like they acting like I turned my shit into Nikkei Plus by Akasan or something like that. I barely
acting like y'all don't play it. Y'all know you play it
exactly. Too. They up here gooning with me. Like, listen. Yeah, I've been looking for my Red Hood statue just to pop that out, just to annoy some of y'all. But yeah. Next time.
Yeah, man. It's man.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main point is when it really comes down to it, like there's only going to be like an upper echelon of people that were able to ride that wave into something that they could truly do forever. Like, and then it also changes, just like House of the Dragon, the more dragons you get, the more it changes you or whatever. Tyrone is definitely not the same type of YouTuber he once was, for better or worse, but he's having fun. He's doing what he believes is the right thing to do. The Real Rejects yeah, exactly. The Real Rejects are doing something completely different. Yes, it's on Matthew's highlights NYCC. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm checking right now. Man, went through my highlights, man. Dang, like I don't even go through my highlights.
Yeah, I was so sad the day. Oh, I'm looking at it right now too. Like there was a few years ago, Matthew was like having this like imposter syndrome, and he was talking about 10 years of the game, and I'm considered I'm the gum on the shoe of the reactor verse. I'm like, oh man, that ain't right, like that. But yeah.
Whoa. Hold on. What did you say? Wait, what did you say before that?
You said You posted on your Instagram maybe 5 years ago or something like that. You were like, man, 10 years in the game and nobody even knows who I am. I'm the gum on the shoe of the Reactorverse. You don't even remember that.
Frustration is real, bro.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Frustration and mental health. Look, listen, I'm gonna be real with you guys. And I've been candid about my mental health issues on my channel personally for years.
I think
so
I've
this
seen
is
some
nothing
videos
new.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing new. This is nothing new for people that have been watching me for a while. But yeah, no, when you're doing this thing, man, when you're doing this thing and you're trying to make an impact, you're trying to really make it out there. And like I had to learn some hard lessons. Like one of the lessons I learned is that like you get to a sense of humility where it's like you might have a video that like pops off, or you might have a moment where things are going really, really well. And then like it doesn't last forever. It doesn't stay like that forever. And then you get down to this low and then you feel insignificant. You feel like you're doing something wrong. You feel like you're not accomplishing what you could have done in that, that one video, the other video you did. So I learned a lot of lessons. I mean, I'm still young, but I'm a lot older. I'm 29 now. I'm gonna be 30. But I say I'm at this spot because people say I'm too young. People say I'm too old. People literally seriously, people they look at me and they're like, man, you're unk. And then some people say, nah, man, you're still young. So it's like I don't know what to tell you, but all I know is that I'm 29 now. I started this thing when I was like 19. Yeah, I know you're saying that, but like I'm having a crisis about worried about turning 30, bro. That'd be so real. Hey, I'm worried about it, man. I'm worried. Look, I'm being real. What you want me to do?
No, I get it. My blood pressure says hello, but yeah, okay. They called it the ruthless depression era.
No, but no, for real. It's a real thing though. It's a real thing. Like I think a lot of people, especially a lot of black men, they're not really comfortable with talking about mental health.
Yeah.
And I've always been one of those people, whether people think it was cringe or not, whether people think it was embarrassing or not or whatever, I've always just kind of spoke my mind. Regardless, I still speak my mind, and sometimes I have takes that are questionable. Sometimes I have takes that's whatever. But the point is, listen, I'm just happy knowing that I can just be authentically myself through the good times and the bad times. And I learned a lot of hard shit doing this kind of job. You learn a lot of things doing this. But I will say I'm in a position right now where I'm really content and I'm happy with the way things are. And obviously I want to still grow more and do more, but definitely not that time was a time. But yeah, I see the picture now too from 2018.
Oh, you found it?
In the highlights. Yep.
Is it after the spider stuff? After the cosplay stuff? Like
it's after the cosplay stuff.
Heimdall. I see you on Heimdall. Here, fuck it. Let's just do it.
I met a viewer at the time, and then
I saw that. I was like, damn, you scratched out my face. Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah,
no, you're right there, bro. You're right. Yeah. You're right there.
Wait, what?
And then there's the Jason Momoa story. Actually, is on that time.
Wait,
the one I just told you guys.
2018, right?
Yep.
Wait, I skipped myself somehow. Am I in a video or is it a photo?
No, it's a photo. It's a photo.
Where?
I think it's before all of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's before all of that. It's like it's day 2. It says New York Comic Con 2018 day 2. I don't know. Yeah, day 2, the previous one.
This one.
So that
okay.
Day 2. And then you're in that one that says day 2.
Let's see here. Cast of Daredevil, Outlander, Michelle. Yeah. Sci-fi. Yeah. Oh my God. There you go. God damn, I look skinny. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, there it is.
Wow.
And that same Jason Momoa story actually is on that thing too. The moment after it happened.
That right there. Wow. Another sub. Yeah. That was I think that was the same time. Like it's kind of going back into Brand New Day. I think that was literally the same. That was the same one where there was a guy painted green like the Hulk, and he saw me. And he didn't say anything, and he just started crying and dropped down to the ground, his green paint coming off of his face. because he was so in love with me, and he was like, oh my god, it's you. Like that.
I mean, dude, you mean a lot to a lot of people, man.
Yeah,
Like, especially a lot of us that watched you like before we started this kind of stuff. So yeah,
Appreciate
dude.
that.
I want to ask him this because he's probably gonna remember.
Aka
Do you remember
Khan?
the first time?
No, what?
Do you remember the first time we met Akasan?
A young and hopeful Akasan. Damn bad. Okay, what? The first time we met, it wasn't Are you talking about face to face?
Yes.
Well, it wasn't Star Wars Con, right?
No.
But that was my
recently.
biggest memory. Yeah,
Yeah.
the beard. But was it the Midtown Comics? Not
Close,
Midtown.
no.
Sorry. It was some sort of space themed comic thing with the meet and greet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
This was Meltdown Comics.
Yeah,
before it
Meltdown
burned
Comics,
down.
not Midtown Comics. I remember that. People were so mad that I did a meet and greet. They're like, this pretentious motherfucker. How you gonna sit down and like? Why don't you just meet at a park? I'm like, bro, damn. Let's just like
that. And
like-
I tell people like, yo, he lives in Japan. It was first, the first few times he had come back to the States.
Yep.
And we're both LA kids, so like, there's no fucking way we're missing that. And like, it was apropos that it happened at Meltdown. And
yeah, that
just
was
like,
cool, man. And now that place doesn't exist anymore. Yeah,
no.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that meet and greet. Yeah, well,
But I also think I tell people like, go watch your interview with all of us at Japan, because that was
oh yeah, the Star
that
Wars.
was
That was a
such
good. Oh, that was horrible. We had no table, nothing. We just sat in the fucking corner, sweating, and just tried to get that shit. Pretentious. You know what, chat? All right, this interview is over. Nah, my chat is just trolling me, but it's cool. It's all love. I appreciate that. Anyways, guys, all right, let's the live call-in with viewers were funny. Yeah, that one time Stan Lee died and somebody called in and called him a nigger, and I was like, okay, what? like what? And I was like, yeah, he's my nigga, motherfucker. Shut up. Click. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, those call-ins were funny though. I'll probably maybe I'll do them once in a while. Like once Marvel gets back to peak again, I'm sure I'll do something with Avengers at the end of this year or something like that. Batman. We'll see. We'll see, y'all. We'll see. All right, let's wrap it up, y'all. Where can they find y'all? Where can they find y'all? Let's go, Matthew. Let's go first.
Yeah, it's just MVH up on YouTube. You can just find me there. Wife and I
NVH.
currently just watching
Yeah.
MVH.
Okay.
Watching X-Men 97. That's just where it's at. So
You're gonna do it
Yeah.
tonight, right?
no, I gotta wait for her because we're doing it together. So I'm gonna do it with her tomorrow.
Ah, yeah. How long have you been married?
We've been married since 2021.
Yeah, man. I saw. Yeah, I
5
saw.
years?
And we've been together since 2018. So
Wow. Oh, Civil War. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. That was Civil War. Yeah. Sorry. No, the movie. Not. Yeah. I just remember because I had a date I canceled because the trailer dropped, and that shit was real back then. I was like, I gotta go. They were like, what? Something wrong? And I literally was like Christian Bale in American Psycho. I'm like, no, it's time to react, and I ran away. And I was like crazy. Yeah. They were like, what? The sacrifices we do for everything, right? All right. Ronan, go ahead, man.
Literally at Ronan and Chain across all socials: Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube.
Grinder.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. He says. Yeah.
No, yeah, just again, all over socials, covering everything. And in a few hours, you'll see my X-Men stuff. And then this week, I should wrap up Cape Crusader season 2. And then, yeah, I mean, if you're an animation fan, Last of Us, Star Wars fan, hang out, subscribe to the channel. I tell people, the more the channel grows, the more an excuse I have to bug people like Matthew and Akasan and be like, yo, let's meet up at this place. Let's do this. And they'll be like, what? And they're like, all right, whatever. And yeah, so.
There you go. And of course, y'all know me, Akasan, almost on all socials, including Grinder. I'm on Tinder as well. Somebody stole my picture of me sitting in my Aquaman suit with my legs spread eagle on a giant clam. It was a Halloween party, but somebody used that as their profile picture on Tinder, and so I'm catfishing motherfuckers left and right. So yeah. But there is only one. There's only one Akasan. There's only gonna be one Akasan. Yeah.
Oh no.
Kevin Feige,
No,
book it, baby. Yeah. Well, it was fun, guys. Let's try to do this again. I'll try to get everybody in on this, and also shout outs to Late to the Party as well. They popped in. They are currently butt seated for their second showing of Spider-Man Brand New Day. It is what it is. Yeah, make sure you guys check out everybody's socials and follow their stuff. See they do good work. They're way more consistent than I am nowadays. I only show up for the big potatoes type of stuff, you know. Yeah, the big potatoes type of stuff. But it's all subjective anyways. And tune in tomorrow as well, guys, for me on Twitch. On the Twitch side of things, Twitch and Kick, as I'm just gonna have a barbecue, chilling in the middle of a typhoon, doing a lot more IRL nowadays, and that's that. Of course, stay tuned for more content from Goddess of Victory, Nikke, and you know, you got to do it. You got to do it. And that's it. Twitch Avengers Assemble. Hell yes. Stay tuned for, of course, Doomsday. There you go. That's gonna be the big one. I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about on that one. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you on the next one. Okay. Take care. Later, guys. Bye. See you. All right, and then on my side, guys, oops, shit, exposing everything, y'all. Oh yeah, there you go. Yes, this dude. I don't have my camera set up on this side, so this is all you're gonna get right here. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys real soon on the next one. Appreciate y'all. Okay. Bye. See you. I gotta go to work. That's why. Bye-bye.